Good evening, welcome to Poker Night Live. I'm Barry the Bully Martin. Joining me for the next 4 hours will be a couple of, well, 2 for the price of 3. Or 3 for the price of 2, no less. 2 hour left. There you go. 2 hour left. Mr. Johan, all the way from Stockholm this evening. Thanks for joining us on Poker Night Live.
Thank you very much. It's very nice to be here.
Excellent work. And a regular to the show. 3rd in a row?
Yeah, my 3rd innings.
Third in a row.
Yeah, I've been pretty good. They give me a bed in the back, so everything's pretty good.
Mr. Mark Prince Charles Banin, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Mark, your show. We want you to email, text, do whatever you can to contact us here in the studio. A number of ways you can do this. You can text in 62211, that's 62211. You can email us here at Poker Night Live. It's poker at, strangely enough, pokernightlive.co.uk. That's poker at pokernightlive.co.uk. And new feature, you can actually leave questions, messages for us on 0906 200 7080. That's 200 7080. So, loads of lovely poker for you here this evening on Poker Night Live. Couple of new features we've got, but first, should we have a quick look around the tables, Mark?
Sure, let's go around the tables and see what we've got for our viewers tonight. Okay, first table is a cash game. This is a 25-cent, 50-cent cash game, and this is your forte, isn't it? I believe this is sort of where you come into this, and we'll be talking more about that. This is a $50 buy-in for that one. On the next one is a $2 sit and go, I believe, and as you can see, this one is in its first level, but we've already got one player out, so we'll no doubt see more of that later on. Third table is a $5 sit and go. This particular one has just started, and as you can see, most players have still got their initial starting stacks. And our fourth table this evening is a multi-table tournament. This one's just kicked off, as you can see. Blinds are 10.20. This was a $10 buy-in, and I believe 263 entrants into this one. So should be quite an interesting one to catch up on throughout the night.
Thanks very much, Mark. Excellent work. So, quick, Johan, first time on the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a student studying here in England since a month and a half, and I play quite a bit of poker and have been for the past 4 years.
Just online?
Mostly online, yeah. Okay. Some live games as well, but mostly online.
Excellent. I heard your friends used to play live with you, but they don't let you play anymore because you keep nicking all their krona.
That's right, yeah.
Excellent work, excellent work. And I believe you was a dealer for a while, was that true?
Yes, for about a year I dealt at the Casino Cosmopol in Stockholm.
Excellent, excellent work. So, another very new feature this evening on Poker Night Live is Beat the Presenter. Mark, maybe you want to run through exactly what Beat the Presenter is all about.
Yeah, sure, Barry. It's quite a nice little concept, and it's something our viewers have been asking for a while now. It's where one of the presenters plays an online... One of us, yeah.
Wow.
Plays an online sit and go, and it's a nominated presenter, and tonight it's you.
Me?
It's you.
Well, at least it's going to be nice and quick anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I hope my wife is watching.
Yeah, so your new normal sort of loose... aggressive style will be...
What?
Yeah, you.
Please.
Yeah.
I'm a rock. You should know this.
I should know, yeah. But that'll be quite interesting. So normally you have to pick, you can pick whichever sit and go you want, and I think probably best for you to start off on the $1 ones, really.
They've got anything lower?
No, I think that's the lowest,
okay.
Yeah.
So maybe a $1 sit.
Yeah, we've stuck $3 in your account.
It's not my money, it's their money. It'd be 100 or 50 or something like that. Quite interesting.
So yeah, basically you'll be finding out, and what happens is you'll be playing that, and I'll be doing the commentating with Johan, and an hour later is where we'll see what you did and what you didn't do.
Oh dear. So rub downs from afar and also from very close.
Very near.
Yeah, lovely, marvellous stuff. Okay, we're going to have a quick look at the multi-table tournament. I believe we're just at the early stages of it, so let's have a quick look.
Yeah.
The lime green table here this evening. And every evening, actually, on Poker Night Live. So quite a few runners there this evening, Mark, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's 263 runners, I believe, on this particular one. So lots of prize money, $2,630 in the prize pool. First gets $723, and it goes all the way down to 30 places getting paid on this one. 30th place gets $18.41. So this is a time where a lot of players like to play different ways, and I don't know what your style is, Barry, but mine is really in these early levels to try and accumulate chips.
Trying to accumulate chips, but don't want to get yourself knocked out. That would be my overall structure of not in these multi tables, because it's a freeze out. You can't rebuy. There's no point in going broke unless you've got an enormous bankroll. You can play 7 or 8 of these in the evening. I don't know if you'd. About you, Johan, how are you going to play multi-table tournament?
Well,
most Swedes are absolutely absolute cracking players online.
Well, yeah,
No?
I suppose that's our specialty when we don't have to speak to other people. You know? No, I think you're right. You want to accumulate some chips in the beginning of the evening, and try to stay in there. You know, that's.
So you'd actually do it to Mark. You'd actually try and accumulate chips even at the cost of your own stack.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, as you probably found out on our little on our little tournament together.
Yeah, that was a bit of fun.
Yeah. So I'm prepared to.
I don't think you'd play a big multi-table tour, especially a deep stack bar. Maybe like a big buy-in one like you would have played the commentators event poker bar. I'm sure that wouldn't be the case.
No, it would.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
You're going to play really fast, try and accumulate chips
I wouldn't
early?
play really fast. I mean, I wouldn't put all my chips at risk on a complete bluff, but I might put a certain portion of my stack at risk, probably at least half my stack at risk, in order to accumulate chips.
Really?
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, then I'll tighten up at that point.
It's a bit late though, isn't it? If you've done half your stack.
Well, if you've done half your stack, it is. But then you're losing some of your bluffing rights, aren't you? Because you're not. No one's fearing you because of your short stack. So, yeah.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. So very early stages here of the multi-table tournament. As Mark said, we've got a little over 260 runners, and we'll be joining the multi-table tournament throughout the evening on a regular basis, just to see how it's all progressing nicely. What's the starting stack here? Is it 1,000 or 1,500?
It's 1,500, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's quite. We found that when we've been watching these, there've been quite a lot of play early on. In fact, there's a slight period in the middle where the play is slightly lessened, but generally speaking, throughout the tournament, it's tons of play. Even on the final table and heads up, there seems to be lots of play in. With blinds, I don't know, 5,000-10,000, and each player has something like 250,000 chips. So, some decent amount of play.
Yeah, the nice thing about these multi-table tournaments is a little different from what we're usually used to seeing on Poker Night Live, is that blinds are a little bit longer, a few more chips to start with, gives you a little bit more play than the sit and goes, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, pretty much, exactly right. You do have a lot. Well, in fact, as you'll find out shortly, a lot more play than the sit and goes. Yeah. You'll be surprised how fast they go up. But,
we'll see. We'll see about that. Eh? We'll see.
But,
so you're not going to be backing me then in this Beat the Presenter?
Oh, absolutely. We'll be backing you to the hill. Well, you've got to back your own, haven't you?
Okay. What about you, Johan? Are you more of a cash player or a tournament player?
I usually play cash games. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. It's just happened that way, really. I think nowadays I usually prefer that there's no time limits really in cash games, and you can take less risks than you have to do in tournaments. Mm-hmm. So I like that feature, like sit back and take it easy.
Excellent. Do you think that there's a big difference between tournament and cash play? Do you think a good tournament player could make a good cash player and vice versa?
Well, yeah, anything is possible, but you have to change your style of playing, I think. I think generally you have to be more aggressive in a tournament than you necessarily have to be in a cash game. So, I mean, yeah, you'd have to adjust your game a little bit, but I've seen a lot of good players playing tournaments and cash games and doing very well. So. But
you look at the top players in the world, and this is, Mark, I think you would agree with me here, that you usually find the crossover between cash and tournaments is very rare. You only get your people like your Phil Ivers and people like this can actually play both, Negreanu as well. But there's people like Phil Hellmuth and these kind of people find it very difficult to play cash games. Simon Trumper's another one that I know is a very good tournament player, finds it very difficult to make the crossover. Would you agree?
It is difficult. It's a completely different game. And that's the thing that a lot of people can't realise. They think the rules are the same and you get two cards and the boards are the same and everything. But it is a very, very different style of approach you need. So absolutely, it is difficult to do. And to start changing from one to the other. I normally find if I'm playing lots of tournaments and I hop into a cash game, I'm playing a little bit too loose, a little bit too aggressive. If I play too many cash games, I'm a little bit too passive. So you can get into it. It takes sometimes a little bit of time to settle into one or the other, without the aftermath of the cash games or tournaments spoiling the other. So yeah, it's difficult to change your mindset.
I've not seen you a lot, actually. I've seen you a lot in tournaments. I don't see you in cash games very often. Is it something you play
I play mainly online now.
Yeah,
I play mainly online. I don't go out live playing cash games. But I do enjoy cash games nowadays. Although up to about a year and a half ago, I never used to play any cash games. It was always mainly 90% tournaments, and now it's probably 90% cash games.
Okay. Yeah. Well, with the cash games in mind, let's pop off to see a cash game in progress right now. It's one of those 25-cent, 50-cent loony games, which I believe you like to play.
That's right, yeah.
You say loony games. We were watching the last couple of 25-cent, 50-cent cash games. Have actually been very good.
Really?
A very good level of play. Yeah, I was actually quite surprised. You know, people laying down big hands and people making very skillful moves. Not sort of wild all-ins and stuff like that as you'd expect. So I think a lot of these players are actually very good players, just with shortened bankrolls. I think that's really all it boils down to.
I agree, and I think it's a general trend that people are just getting better and better. I think we've seen sort of a huge increase for the past years, but now people are settling with their game and getting better, but not necessarily getting bigger bankrolls. So yes, I agree. It's a lot better play on these small tables nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see if we can watch a bit of play here. Perhaps you can give us your thoughts on some of the things you see here.
Well,
is that the sort of thing you'd like to do with a pair of aces in the cut-off position?
I think so, yeah. I think with 4 times the big blind is a pretty good bet.
With aces?
Yeah, I think so.
You're not going to limp with aces?
Well, I mean, that's always the possibility. Maybe in a situation with only 2 players like this, he should have limped it, or maybe smaller bets, but in general, I think you should go pretty hard with the aces.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I know we see a lot of players on Poker Night Live do, well, sometimes limp with aces and unfortunately get into a situation or a spot whereby they find it very much impossible to lay them down, which is something you have to do if you limp with aces, Mark.
Absolutely. I was showing I think today, I think I limped with queens, hit a set, flopped a set. No, in fact, I didn't limp. I actually raised them and flopped a set, and still had to fold in the end because there was a 1-card straight out there. So, it happens.
How did the betting go to get to that situation? Did you find yourself?
I bet, and then the board got worse and worse, and it even though I had a set, it didn't pair up, and the guy pushed all in at the end, and I didn't want to, with a 1-card straight out there, I think it was fair to say he probably had the jack, so. It was a sort of hand. He probably had 10 jack or queen jack or something like that, and that would have
Kept him in.
Kept him in, yeah. So it was a bit of a no-brainer really on that one. So yeah, it is something you have to. It is difficult sometimes when you limp that you have to be prepared to put it down. And it's not easy. Putting them down to a flop. It is very, very difficult. But sometimes you just got to make those decisions.
Especially when you find that it comes to the river and you still only got 1 pair, and in a multi-way pot, usually 1 pair. Is not usually good enough to take it down.
No. What about you? Have you laid them down post flop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, a number of times when it's just especially 2 or 3-way action whereby the betting is thus whereby either someone's on a very, very big draw and you're going to do all your chips, or it's become a paired board and the betting's in such a way whereby you have to lay.
You have to assume that someone's got the king if it's king 6 or something. Yeah.
Look. I know that when I'm playing my best poker...
So just to interrupt, Barry, look at this hand developing here. We've got ace, queen, queens and kings. So we're going to see... This is going to be action.
This could be carnage.
Yeah, this is going to be carnage somewhere, especially...
The ace. One if the ace-queen fancies... what's he done? He's a minimum raise with the ace-queen.
So wouldn't you like to see an ace-king-queen flop? That would be a thing of beauty, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Queen Jack 10 would be fun.
I must say, I'm a bit surprised that the Kings didn't make a re-raise.
Yeah, he's trying to be crafty, isn't he?
Just to see what the other ones are,
Oh, look at this.
He's jumped into the lead.
Well, it's actually, the person who's gained most of this is Craven here. He's thinking to himself he had a monster hand with the queens. He could have absolutely gone, well, not gone broke, but name exists, could have easily doubled up from Craven. But now they can both get away from it. Now the ace is here.
Now, just to finish it all off, Daz will fold.
No, look at this. What's going on?
Oh dear, that is sick.
Hold on a sec. I was saying to you the 25-50 game's usually full of lunatics and nutters, and Daz goes and folds. What did he put these guys on? Ace King?
Incredible. Why are you calling with Ace Queen?
Exactly.
Yeah. Why are you calling the bet initially?
If you think the guy's got Ace King, why call the extra $2?
Yeah. You've got to be prepared to play your ace or queen if it flops.
This can be interesting as well. We got queens against ace. 10.
Yeah, I don't know many of these players actually. Do you, Mark?
Mac 1 we saw yesterday. Buffy Be Good.
Craven I've
V3
seen before.
Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of these guys. Daz as well. I'm surprised he folded that there.
Got me for a queen on the river here, could we? Just a bit of fun, maybe.
Yeah, that would
be sick, wouldn't it? He can't call him Mac 1 anyway.
No, he's got.
No, it's a small bet into.
Yeah. He's only getting 3 to 1, and he's
Yeah.
10 to 1, really. You know, if he had maybe 6 to 1, get the rest on implied odds. But
Here's some stats. Give you the old idea of who's loose and who's tighter players here. Tilters are non, as his name would suggest, playing more hands than everybody else. 44% he's playing, which I think we said at the top of the show is probably not the best way to play in a cash game.
no, that's very high.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's higher than me. I'm sort of a little bit looser than most. How do you play cash games? Are you sort of a loose
Depends how I'm playing. Like yourself, if I play tournaments and I've busted out and I sit in a cash game, I'm usually got, if my game's an RPMometer, I'm just on the red. Where if I sit in a cash game and say I'm going to stay there for 4 or 5 hours, I'm going to play it out, I'll play a very solid game.
Yeah.
And I can make big laydowns, and I can play in a way which is conducive for me to making money.
So the bully boy approach is lost, really.
Well, I tell you what, no, it's not, because it's nice that people think you play like that all the time, and I can sit down. It's like, oh, here he comes, bully us off, and I don't, and I've got good hands, and I get paid, which is nice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't pay off so much, especially down at the club where I play most of my time, and you try and nick a blind in late position, and everyone looks you up. You're trying to nick with 6-5 or something, and you always get looked up, which is a bit of a pain, but. It's never fun.
No,
it's never fun. Would you call yourself an aggressive player, Johan? Where you
No,
play cash games?
I'm generally pretty conservative. I think I'm trying to adjust my game to the players I'm up against, which means that sometimes I do get really aggressive when I see that I can get away with it. But generally, I'm leaning towards the more conservative sort of timid player.
And you're a winning player online.
Yes.
Well, there you go. So there's a little bit of interest from you there to show that the conservative play can pay dividends in the long run.
Absolutely, yes.
Would you say you're a winning player, Mark, online? When
On
it
the
comes
cash
to
games? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'd be broke by now if I was. Yeah, no, definitely,
if you're playing 25 cent, 50 cent, it wouldn't make a great deal of difference.
Yeah, no, I've definitely been winning.
But when you're a multi-millionaire anyway...
there are certain days where I lose a stack, like the other day, I lost a few $100s, but we all get those. So, but as long as it keeps, in fact, I think that's probably been my only losing session in a week. So I lose maybe once a week, something like that. Generally speaking, the rest are generally winning sessions. Yeah.
That last day when you lose is always the worst.
Yeah,
it's so
not
difficult
nice.
to get offline, and then after a day like that, I think you really want to end up on the plus side.
You do, yeah, you do. It's an important thing.
When do you call it a day? That's the big question. When, after a losing session, do you pull up some more and try and win it back? When's the kind of the fail-safe period for your game in a cash game, Johan?
Well, it depends really. If I have a situation where I've been sitting for hours with cold hands, I'll probably give up. Whereas
irrelevant of where your current bankroll is or your stack on the table.
Yeah, exactly. Where I say if I've been going all in on a good draw or something like that, and felt that really could have gone my way, I'm probably going to pay up again and try to get it back.
What about you, Mark?
I think it depends on a few things. One, it depends on who's at your table. If you feel there are going to be donators on your table, then that's probably worth sticking around for. I'll try and buy in 2 or 3 times, but there'll be situations whereby if I start seeing that I'm getting outdrawn all the time, and I've noticed that other players seem to be getting outdrawn as well, sort of weird things happening, aces against kings keeps losing all the time and stuff like that, then I'll say, okay, well, today's is not a good day, and I'll just log off and try a few hours later. So, because you do get days like that where you see people, getting massive outdraws and you're getting them too, and you think, well, hold on a sec, it just seems like the cards are falling all sort of lopsided today, so time to perhaps just walk off, do something else, and then sit down in a few hours' time. So I don't generally play long sessions anyway. I only generally play for an hour, hour and a half per. I'll play perhaps 3 times a day, 4 times a day, hour and a half. So.
And that's it, and walk away. Even if you're up or down, hour and a half, you're...
Generally speaking, yeah. I mean, I walked away today, and I think I was broke even, so after about an hour and a quarter, something like that. So, so that's the way I play, yeah. So, but generally speaking...
Do you have a specific game level you like to play, or a game? Is it No Limit Hold'em or Omaha?
Yeah, I generally play No Limit Hold'em, and it varies anywhere between 1-2 and anything up to 5-10. I don't usually go into 5-10, but sometimes live I generally will play sort of slightly bigger levels, but 5-10 will be usually the max.
Some more stats for us. You want to take us through these Mark?
Yeah, pretty much similar to what we saw before. These are pre-flop folds. So this is showing you how loose people are or how tight. The top ones are the tightest. They've been folding 79% of the time, so that means they're playing around 20% of hands. And the bottom there, you can see V3 Ranger and Mach 1, who are playing around 40% of hands. So it just gives you an indication of how loose or tight these guys are playing.
Well, it'd be interesting to actually compare the two graphs, the percentage of hands played against the pre-flop folds, which is
I think there is some. Shouldn't it? Percentage of hands plays against. It should be the same. Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah,
it's just reversed.
Yeah, it's just reversed.
There you go. See, there's a perfect correlation of 100%.
Yeah,
with a slight statistic error, perhaps.
Yeah,
Well, no,
just
I wonder if there's been a, maybe a call in some spots and then a fold. In fact, I don't think if we can
I see what you mean.
Yeah, no, they actually the figures could be right, could not match up, because say if you flat call in pre-flop and it comes around and you fold, is that a hand played? That is a hand played, isn't it?
That I don't know. I don't know how the stats will take it. Yeah,
Okay.
You might be right, because there is a slight differentiation, isn't there, by 1%. But so that might be it. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, they say 74% of stats are made up on the spot, so not in this case, because they're all.
Do they? Who says that?
I just did. I just made it up. No, okay. It usually works with the rest of it, but you're too smart for me. I can't do that like that.
So just a reminder, if you want to text the studio, 62211. That's your text number. Don't forget to put your name in there, just so we can see who you are, and you can obviously email the studio as well, poker@pokernightlive.co.uk.
You can phone us as well. New features to the show. Poker Night Live, which is 0906 200 7080. That's 0906 200 7080. Leave your message or questions for us, and we'll try and go through them throughout this evening and the morning, right up until 2 a.m.
Nothing rude, though.
Well, it won't get heard on air. You can leave it. We'll listen to it in the break. I'm more than happy to do that, but unfortunately, you're not going to hear your own voice on the box. So, unfortunately, Johan, you're only here for an hour, I believe, this evening.
That's right. Yeah, I've got to get home and get
Got a date
online.
or something? Or? No.
No, not really. No. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're going to be seeing a little bit more of Johan, I believe, over the next coming weeks, because he's going to be giving us our Scandinavian presence, aren't you?
That's right.
We've got quite a lot of Scandinavian people watching, I believe. Now, how do they watch in Scandinavia, in
On
Sweden?
the telly,
Do they
usually.
watch it on the telly, or are they watching it via live feed?
I think that's a very much individual choice. Generally speaking, people have pretty good computer uplinks. So I think a lot of people are following us through the internet. So.
Yeah, I was speaking when I was. I remember playing in Estonia and last year, and there was a lot of Swedes there, as you would get, because it's so close. And a lot of them were saying that they keep it on in the background, listening. It's almost like background music. So
White noise, I think they call it.
I think they're sitting there with their 3 screens and what have you, and one of them happens to have a couple of tables with our
ugly mugs on it. And,
absolutely.
Talking absolute.
Yeah, and who knows, once in a blue moon they might actually learn something as well.
You never know. You never know. Well, it's nice that we have got more of an international flavour now to Poker Night Live.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Today Europe, next the world.
Exactly.
Poker Night Live goes on and on.
It
Double
does.
award-winning Poker Night Live.
Well, we've got viewers in Canada and the States as well watching
We do,
us. Yeah,
exactly.
So we are getting around quite a bit. And of course, I believe Canada has their own version of Poker Night Live.
They do.
Yeah.
Slightly different format. A little bit more outlandish in some of their ways they do things. So,
Is it?
Sam was telling me, but
I'll have to tune in one point. I'm not sure if you can get a feed out of it. It'll be interesting.
yes, indeed. Yeah, it's like Sam was telling me that they go, oh my God, it's a 7 on the turn. That gives the guy just 1 pair, and that's the kind of the idea. They get very excited about very things, and that's for 2 or 3 hours. It goes on the same.
That's a lot of energy.
Obviously, we're a bit more conservative here in the UK.
Now, we've got a special feature as well coming up this Saturday. When I say special feature,
This
a special
Saturday?
guest coming in this Saturday. None other than Dave the Devilfish Elliott will be here.
Excellent work.
So if you're at home and you're tuning in, definitely set the videos to on if you're going out, because Mr. Devilfish himself will be on. So definitely worth tuning in now. He's a great guy, Dave. He's got lots of quips and lots of jokes, and I'm sure you'll be hearing all of them throughout the course of the evening. So Saturday, set your videos.
Hopefully they've got a bit of a delay on Dave, because he does like to be rather colourful in the language most of the time. So,
got a bit of a situation here. We've got 2 7s against 2 4s, and there are no hits on the flop, unfortunately, for any player really. But it was going to be interesting to see how they play this one.
The jack may slow them down, but no, I like Craven's bet here.
Yeah,
We've only one overcard, 2 7s.
Yeah, and he's only got one person else to go through.
Yeah.
So the others have shown weakness. So yeah, good bet by Craven.
Excellent work. Okay, we're going to take a quick email here that we've had in for the show. Thank you very much for this. Right, evening all. This is from Julian into the show. Thanks very much, Julian. He says, evening all, chaps. I know this has been covered before, but I really could do with some help with finishing in the money. Hey, couldn't we all? Out of the last 9 sit and goes, I finished on the bubble 6 times. This is really frustrating me, and I don't want to go on till. It must be very difficult, Julian. The sit and goes are turbo, so the blinds increase very quickly and don't really have the chips to raise pre-flop. Should I avoid the turbo games, or should I not be so tight in the early stages of the game? Well, if you're finishing the bubble 6 times, you must be doing something right, Julian. Wouldn't you say, Mark?
Yeah, I think that's typical. I think he's just coined it, in fact. You know, I think his answer was, am I too tight early on? And that is typical of bubble situations, where you're too tight early on, you don't accumulate any chips, you get to the final area, but you just don't have enough chips to carry you through into that final 3. So that's a typical sort of thing. What I would say, Julian, is you need to just open up just that little bit earlier than you normally would. So once you see there's perhaps down to 5 players, then you want to perhaps open up and nick a couple of rounds of blinds. And if you do that, that will probably be enough to carry you through into the next into that final 3. It's only need to do it once or twice, and if you win a couple of rounds of blinds, that's usually sufficient to take you into that 3. You just need to do it when it's around 5 players left. That's been my advice.
Johan, any advice for Julian?
No, I think that was pretty good actually. I would probably do the same as you. Try to be a little bit more aggressive in the beginning.
What I would say to you, Julian, is try and win the thing. That's probably what the mental attitude you want to go into. If you're looking just to scrape into the money, that's not the way to play sit and goes. You've got to go and try and win this. And yeah, you may finish 7th or 8th in a few of them, but it'll give you the aggressive advantage in the early stages to try and go on and win these things. And it may stop this bubble situation you find yourself on a regular occurrence. So hopefully that's been a little bit of helpful advice for you here on Poker Night Live. Now, we've got a thing called What's in the Hole, a very exciting new feature to Poker Night Live. And Mark, you've done What's in the Hole.
I have indeed.
What is in the hole?
Yeah, well, let's have a look at one of our tables to see what's in the hole. This is where our viewers get a chance to guess what cards are being held. So,
is it like like a veritable spot the ball competition?
Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it is. It's like
where's the ball though?
Guess the cards. Guess the cards competition.
Where's the cross? Where'd you put the cross? No. Anyway, look, we've got Gonna Get You there in seat number, what that'd be, number 8. Now, as you can see, you can't see any cards. It's just a
minimum raise there from Frankie Doodle.
With the pocket 6s. Now, we've got to try and work out, or you've got to try and work out home exactly what Gonna Get You has in the hole. We can't see, you can't see. We'd like for you to text in, email in, leave a message on the voice machine, etc. Whatever you need to do to get in contact with the Poker Night Live, let us know exactly what you think Gonna Get You has. So,
give you some ideas of possibilities. Now, the guy has made a pot-sized bet, and he's called. Now, what's he calling with? My usual suggestion is if someone's calling, they've either got a weak ace, a strong middle pair, or a draw of some kind. So, which one of those is usually correct? Could have perhaps Jack Queen, could have a weak ace, perhaps Ace 3 or something.
That's enough, Mark. We don't want to give too much away.
Don't want to give too much away, but I don't know myself, so...
No. Let's not give too much away in the early stage. Anyway, if you want to... Well, we don't want to give our expert views on exactly what's going on. Anyway, if you want to get in contact, text us using the word hole to 62211. That's hole 62211. And as I say, we'll be going through that a number of times during the evening and giving you the results a little bit later on. Now, we're going to pop along to the lime green table, which again is the multi-table tournament. Let's see what's going on. And we'll fly across into the matrix once again. And here we go. Now, I believe we've flown in to see who our chip leader is, which must be, looking around the table, Black Morgoth, I believe, with 3,570
We've got
chips.
Del Boy here at 4,300.
Oh, there we go. That's it. Well spotted, Johan. I knew we had you here for a reason.
Well, I'm trying to be of help.
I'm joking. Bit of an humour. Sorry. Yes, Del Boy. Well, we've got some decent stacks on here. Looks like the kind of, you know, corner of death over there. We've got some short stacks around the middle and some big stacks around there. Never a nice position to be in, is it, really? You know, being in big stacks, but you've got big stacks behind you to your left as well. It's quite difficult.
Absolutely.
So
Now we're just hearing from the control room. They're actually, this is not the chip leader.
No, this is just one of the tables where we've got a couple of regular players on there. But just give the viewers an idea, 175 players left on this one, and chip leader's actually got 7,500.
Wow!
When you compare that to the blinds are 2,550, that's a lot of play he's got there.
Wow, it is a lot.
There's
of play.
about 150 times a big blind, so he's in very good shape.
That must mean that he's followed our advice to play aggressively in the beginning as
Mark's
well.
advice, not mine.
Oh, yeah.
Me and you would have been, you know, eating our sandwich and chilling out, and, you know, watching the telly and passing kings pre-flop.
I'm trying to take credit for this.
Ace queen, yeah. I believe, with the powers of technology, we're going to fly across to the other. Oh, we have a new chip leader. Look at this. New chip leader, a.k.a. Colt. 10 grand he's got. Wow-wee.
And was it Shark Bait that actually had the... Oh, no, it was Shaky Shark, in fact, that had the chip lead. So from one shark to another, a.k.a. has now got the chip lead, 10,500. And it looks like Shark might have given him some of those because he's now pretty short.
Well, yeah. There's an empty seat as well, which I'm sure he's picked up on there. 10.5 grand. It's a nice position to be in, Mark. But are you going to play this in this position? Multi-table tournament, 100 and odd players left. You've got 200 big blinds. You're going to press the sit out button and chill out for a while. You're not going to play many hands.
No, I'm not. By the same token, I'm not going to be particularly aggressive, but I will be a little looser around the button. So
a bit
for
more
example,
calling.
Yeah. So for example, whereas when I've got my regular stack of chips, I might decide to call with 9-7 suited on the button to a small raise. Now I might decide to call with 9-6, for example, or 8-5, or something along those lines. Whereas I might loosen up my starting requirements just a touch, just to see if I can pick off any more players. So I think that's what that gives me. You know, that gives me an opportunity to accumulate a few more chips. Not overdo it, but just tweak it slightly in a looser direction. And because I've got the button, it means I can use that to my advantage when they haven't hit.
What about you, Johan? You're going to rock up, or you're going to?
I think I would sort of try to single out the players that get really short stacked and use my size against these people.
The table policeman.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, try to pick on the small guy. It's not a pretty game, but it's very effective. Could be.
Yeah. No, I would probably play somewhere in between you guys. I would, definitely play more pots, but try not. I wouldn't try and be the table policeman. Put it that way. Every time a small short stack's moved in, because you're the big stack, you feel you have to call these guys, and you turn over like 5 deuce, and they've got pocket kings, and it makes you look very stupid. Yeah. But I would play somewhere in the middle there, which. But it's what a nice position. 200 big blinds with a.
Oh, it's huge.
1,500 starting stack there.
Yeah.
Very nice position to be in.
I mean, the lovely thing about it is that most people can put a raise in of 150, 200, and he's thinking, well, I've got 10,500, that's not going to change anything. So, yeah,
right,
cool.
Now he's got pair of queens, so pocket queens. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays this one.
He's not going to get too much action, is he? Chip leader sticking in 5 times the big blind. It's not really going to promote too much of play unless someone's either got 2 overs or got him beat, which as we saw,
what I might do, I think that now the fact that he has got a big stack, I think that gives him an opportunity to slow play those kind of hands, and I'd be more tempted to really slow play them. And if an ace or king flops, then I can get away from it. By the same token, if it flops jack high and someone's sitting there with ace jack, then there's a good chance I get fully paid. So I think that gives him another reason to try and get something more out of those kind of hands, rather than just scaring everyone off.
Depends. The guy, we don't know this a.k.a. Colt, but he may have only 1 gear, which is one way to play. We don't know, do we? We haven't watched him, but...
And plus, we don't know, how he got those chips in the first place. It might have just had big hand against big hand.
Yeah, quite easily, and that could have happened a couple of times, or gotten it in with a big draw, or been up against a big draw. So it'd be interesting to see how, during the evening, where Mr. a.k.a. actually finishes, and if he makes the money and makes the final. So I've taken a note of his name and his starting stack at this particular level, and I'm sure we can follow his progress, which will be interesting.
Yeah, we'll do.
Do you usually find on these multi-tables that the bigger stacks usually make it? Because usually...
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. I mean, I was watching it last night, and 2 or 3 of the big stacks did make it through to the final. But of course, you know, it does change around quite a bit. You know, what we do see that change is quite interesting is that if you've got a really big stack on the final table, you very rarely end up winning it.
Yeah, I noticed that as well, actually.
But yeah, we do see, normally when you see a big stack on a live tournament, like after day 2 or day 3 or whatever, they very rarely end up on the final table. But on these, they seem to follow it through, and they seem to be able to maintain it in a lot of cases.
Excellent. So, another table we've gone to here on the multi-table tournament. Still a number of players left. Any regular faces here you see, Mark?
Yeah, there's Crumble there, who I think he either won or came second in one that I watched a few weeks back, and he played pretty well that day. And he was very short stacked, if I remember correctly, on one particular point, and he managed to bring it back up to win the tournament, or come second, I can't remember exactly. So he's there, so he's got a lot of experience of playing these. And who else? Valentine I recognise, can't remember how he plays. Charwell I recognise, Cat Attack. Yeah, so they've all been about.
A quick question for you, Johan, about Swedish players. You know, they are renowned now around the world for not only online but also, you know, excellent record live in the big tournaments. Why are Swedes so good at poker?
It's very difficult to answer. When it comes playing against English people online,
don't just single us out now. Come on.
we more or less figured out a couple of years ago that you guys always come home at 11 o'clock after the pub, and that's.
He's looking at you, Barry.
Pigeonhole. Let me put you in one.
He's looking at you, Barry. Let's just get that straight.
Yeah.
No, and I think that helps. People coming home from the pub with a couple of beers under their belts, and yeah, that's it. But now the laws have changed, so we'll see how it goes in the future.
So basically, the British law changing is going to affect how many Swedes now winning at poker. That's interesting, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Closing times.
Okay. You can't be serious.
No, I'm serious. All poker players in Sweden knows that the English guys come home from the pub at 11 o'clock. So I've got a lot of friends that logs on at about 11:30, and
No, usually with the English people, 11:30, 12 o'clock, they're usually asleep, you know, kebab, quick on, sit and go, and then to bed, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that, I think, yeah.
Okay, so you got
I've been known
an
to
hour
take
window.
advantage of this fact for myself, actually, a couple of times.
See,
so.
I understand your point, Johan, but I was looking at more the understanding the Scandinavian psyche. Why the personality of Scandinavians and Swedes especially is really works very well in a poker society. Could you? I know you. What are you studying? You're studying anything to do with psychology, by any chance?
No. I suppose I'm studying economics. It's a bit far-fetched, perhaps, but
it's all numbers.
It's money management. Yeah. Well, I think it's very difficult to say. For the past 2 years, I'd say that poker has become sort of the new national sport of Sweden, which helps explain a lot, and people just play a lot, and that's what you need to do, and you need to constantly try to improve yourself and your game, and apparently Sweden seems to manage this pretty well.
One of the things, Barry, I think, is that also when you get a suck out, someone sucks out on you.
Yeah.
In certain situations, you're likely to pick up the laptop and want to throw it out that window. I don't think they have that. I don't think they get emotionally attached to particular hands situations.
That's right, yes. In our igloos, there's no window.
See, he has to pop us about the drink, and it's straight over it doesn't work, does it? Joking.
That's all right.
No. I was lucky enough to be over in Stockholm 4 weeks ago. And I was really surprised that there are loads and loads of really, really good players that I was talking to in bars and stuff like this. I'm just talking to men in bars, by the way. Please. I was going to ask Johan that, there is very few places to actually play live in Sweden. I was so shocked. There's a couple of illegal or underground clubs in Stockholm that I had a quick look in, and there was a couple of casinos, and the rate was extremely high and not very nice for the cash players. But outside of that, there's very few places to play in Stockholm.
That's right. It's been more or less illegal, actually, to play poker on a public scene up until a couple of years ago, when the governmentally owned casinos started So they changed that, and as you said, we have a couple of sort of more or less underground clubs, but other than that, people have been left playing around the dinner table at home, or so. The change in law has just brought about this opportunity for everyone to come out and play a little with each other, and that has helped a lot, especially with the internet coming as well, and it being very safe with the money and so forth. It helped a lot. So.
You must have played with some Scandies
yeah,
in your time, Mark?
Yeah, I've played with quite a few of them. I was playing with Ben Sonnet a few weeks back in St Kitts, and I got quite a few sort of Scandinavian friends, as it were. So yeah, I really got on. Well, just one or two. So yeah, they're a good bunch of guys. You know, very similar mentality, I think, to English in terms of the way they like to enjoy themselves. They're laid back at the same time. Yep. And, so I think most Brits get on quite well with the Scandinavians, so we seem to always hit it off. So, yeah, they're a good bunch of guys, and they're good fun to be around. Yeah, so.
You know, I find that the Swedes, I don't know, Norwegians and Finns are very good players as well. I find them a lot less fiery than English people. You know, the tilt factor is a lot lower than it would be for your UK player.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Well, this is what I was saying earlier, wasn't it? About they don't get so emotional. Like there's times where I get suck out. I just want to pick up the screen and just throw it out the window. But I don't think they really have that so much. I think it takes a lot to get them under their skin.
Yeah, maybe that's true. I wouldn't know, really. Having been a casino croupier, I've seen a fair share of players tilt quite heavily, which is always fun. But
that's a tip in Sweden. Oh,
no,
okay.
It's forbidden, so it doesn't matter to me. But apart from that, it's very fun to watch and to see how the eyes of the other players.
Steam coming out, all in.
And you see the eyes of the other ones just glowing, just waiting for the share of it. Yeah, no, it's quite fun. But you may be right there that there is a sort of emotional barrier that's a little bit higher than English and other players.
Interesting. Okay. Thanks for the chat. It was very interesting. Hopefully, understand a little bit more about the Swedish player. Let's try and find some Swedish players now. Let's go to a cash game. Into our 50-cent $1 cash game, I believe. There we go. Seat 1. We'll call him FKA, I think, just for safety's sake here this evening, because I was caught out the other night saying it, and it didn't come out quite right. It's what you always say when you've got a pair of kings and the aces on the flop. I think you'll find. But anyway, let's not draw attention to it. So, some regular players. FKA I know is a regular player. And we've got Tragic Trev, another face of that we see a lot.
Yeah, he was actually playing on the multi-tables. I don't know if he's still in that or not, but he was playing on the multi-table as well. Snap It is up there as well. He had a good day yesterday. Well, what I saw of it anyway. He managed to play. He was playing I think it was a 25-cent, 50-cent game, and he managed to build up to $200 or just short of $200.
Wow. What's that, $50 max, isn't it?
$50 buy-in, so he did pretty well there. I don't know if he finished off with that, but he had a good session there at least while we were watching. And he's improving steadily here. He's up to 112. Of course, this is a 50-cent $1 table, slightly bigger than the one we were watching yesterday. $100 maximum buy-in, so anything that you see that's over 100 means they've earned it, along from some other players. As you can see, Leicester's there doing pretty well at the moment. He's up $72, or minimum of $72, and you can buy in for as little as $10 if you so wish. So anywhere between $10 and $100 on this particular table. Full table should be interesting. And
see, you were saying earlier that 25-50s usually, as you've seen recently, a pretty solid game. Now, I usually find on Poker Night Live and pretty much around the internet that as you move up the levels, the play gets better. Would you not say that, Johan?
Absolutely, and that was not really my point. Earlier, I was saying that the games at lower level have gotten better for the past 2 years, 2-3 years, I think. Sometimes you can actually run into a very decent game even at these low levels, although usually you'll be able to spot a couple of fishes, but sometimes you might be unlucky enough to run into a really good game, and you find it pretty difficult actually, even at these levels.
About you, Mark, do you think that as you go up the levels, let's say compare the 25-50 cent game to the 5-10 game that you'd see on Poker Night Live?
Yeah, I think
It's different players, isn't it? The names that we see on these tables are different purely by the bankrolls that they have.
Yeah, I think the play changes. I think when you're going up to the middle levels, i.e., let's say 2-4, 3-6, 4-8, that sort of area, and 5-10, the game changes sufficiently where people have more dimensions to their game. So people are getting more creative in their play, and there's a lot more re-raising going on and initial raising going on. When you start to move up, I think, to the 25-50 game, it seems to actually almost go in reverse again. It almost seems to be where people become a lot more solid, and the dimensions seem to change back to a solid state rather than a creative state. So I think we see that 3-6, 4-8 games, 5-10, people are creative, and then it seems to change back again once you get to 25-50 into terms to more solid behaviour. Yeah, I don't know why that quite is, but that's what my feeling on it. When I haven't played a 25-50 game, but I've played the other games, and that's what I feel when I'm playing that. I have to become more creative all of a sudden. My game has to change quite dramatically in order to accommodate, what the way they're now playing. But and when I see the 25-50 game live on Poker Night Live, then we see that they play generally pretty solid. There's no real creative moves going on. There's some good play, but generally they're pretty solid.
Why do you think that is? Do you think that's because they're sitting a lot deeper and there's more money at stake?
I think so.
You don't think it's relative? Because it should be relative, shouldn't it? If you're sitting down a 25-50 game, your bankroll should determine that you should have X big blinds as a bankroll as compared to, say, a 3-6 or a 4-8 game. Yeah, wouldn't you say that was the case?
Well, I don't know. I think it has a lot simpler reason. I think if you got the bankroll to play on 25-50, generally you don't have to win every night, and it's more or less work for you, nothing else. So you can afford to sit back and be a little bit, play solid, really, and you don't have to sweat to get your money, because even a pretty small win compared to your initial buy-in is going to be good enough to pay bills and so forth. So you don't really have to be that inventive. I think that's part of the reason, probably. But
wouldn't that suggest then that the 25-50 game for the more, as you said, inventive player would be the level you'd want to play at? If these boys are playing on a pretty much ABC game, isn't that the place to play if you've got the bankroll to do so?
If you've got the bankroll to do so. But then I think, I think the money is still significant. And I think for you to put, very easy to sit at I'm saying it's very easy, but it's very easy to sit at a 3-6 game or a 4-8 game. And you've got to think the guy's making a button still on the flop, after everyone's checked on a jack-high flopped, and you'd re-raise him. It's very easy to stick, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks in there to, try and nick it back off him. But to want to do that and having to risk $2,000 to do that on a 25-50 game is a different proposition, I think.
But again,
it should be relative. You're right. It should be.
It is relative. It
is relative, but it's not.
See, $60 to a 3-6 player should be the same as $500 to a 25-50 player.
It's not, though, is it?
But it should be, though.
Absolutely, it should be, but it's not. That's the thing. That's the key. Just like if you decided to play a 1 cent, 2 cent game, you couldn't play it properly, because you wouldn't be. If someone decided to raise you 6 cents, you think I'm calling with practically anything. Now, you should say it's all relative, but it's not. It clearly isn't. And that's the other end of it, of course. And clearly, when you do move up to a very high scale, it's not as well, because these aren't multi-millionaires we're talking about. I'm sure they've got good bankrolls, but I'm sure they're not multi-millionaires either. So I think it does affect the way they play.
Excellent. OK. Right, we're going to take a couple of emails before we go to our first break this evening on Poker Night Live. We have an email from Jason in Wales. Hi, Jason. Thanks very much for the email this evening. Hi, guys. Nice to see Johan on the programme. You got a fan, Johan, already?
Jason,
You've only been here 10 minutes, taking the place over already.
Who knew?
Anyway, I was in a tournament earlier, dealt an ace. I lost this to a flush after going all in pre-flop. I then had it again, ace-ace. I lost again to a flush. However, I managed to get my chips back to 8,000. Then I'm dealt king, queen of clubs. Flop comes, jack clubs, jack hearts, 9 clubs. So what does that give you? A paired board, you've got a flush draw. OK. A player goes all in 20,000 chips, so I call. Is this the right decision? It's going to be a very quick one, this, I'm afraid, Jason. P.S. I lost on the turn and river. You lost on the turn and river. You lost twice in this hand. Wow, that's bad news. Possible straight flush, and there was a straight and at worst flush. Great show, thanks. Now, if I trying to understand you, it was a Jack-Jack-9 flop. You had 2 clubs, so you basically had the gut shot. Yeah, you had the gut shot straight flush draw. So you had the 10 of clubs or any club to make the flush. Now, in a paired board, you want to get all your chips, 20,000 chips, and you actually called. You didn't make the aggressive action by sticking your chips in. You actually called the bet. Well, for me, that's the first mistake you've made. You actually called the bet. I want to get my chips in first in the pot. And with a flush draw with a paired board is something I'm not going to want to be doing on a regular basis. So for me, very, very easy decision. You've got king, queen of clubs. You've made a play pre-flop. You've got called. It comes Jack, Jack, 9. I pass in an absolute heartbeat. You know, Em?
I agree, but I know that a lot of players find it difficult if you had 4 cards to a straight flush, if I understood.
That's right. It needs a gut shot 10 of clubs.
And a lot of people find it very difficult to fold that, just because it's so nice to get that straight flush, because it happens so rarely. So I understand your call, but I got to agree with the barrier that you should fold it.
Mark?
It's a no-brainer, yeah, absolutely. You don't call for all your chips. It's okay to, I want to say it's okay. You might want to make a move with it, but you certainly wouldn't want to call with it.
No, and a big bet like 20,000, as Jason's. Mate, look, I've actually worked it out. Maybe he's watching the rugby at the weekend. He went on tilt after Ireland gave him a right good tonking, and he's lumped it in with called with king, queen of clubs. But no, seriously. Calling in that situation, I don't know about you, but I like getting my chips in first. Calling when you're trapping, absolutely fine, but calling all in on a draw, please.
Yeah, you've got a lot of outs. You might think even that if he hasn't got a jack, that your king and queen might be live too. I don't know, but it's unlikely.
It's a big bet to call, isn't it? For your tournament life, it's a very, very big bet to call.
Yeah,
it's not something I would want to do. Right. Okay. Thanks very much for that, Jason. Hopefully that's a bit of a rub down, I'm sure, but hopefully it's to give you some idea of why you went broke with your king, queen of clubs there. Anyway, thank you very much. If you want to contact the show, a number of ways you can do it. You can text us here on Poker Night Live, 62211. That's 62211. You can email the show, as you can see on your screen there, poker@pokernightlive.co.uk. And a new feature on the show at Poker Night Live, you can also phone in and leave your messages, questions, comments, etc. That's 0906 200 70 80. Excellent. So we're going to go for a quick break. Join us again in a few minutes on Poker Night Live. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Poker Night Live, and we're very pleased to be joined by Mr. Mark Banin and Johan. Where's Johan gone?
Look, he's gone.
You know why? It's 11 o'clock. The old pub routine. He's gone back to the laptop to make a few quid for tomorrow.
Absolutely, yeah.
Them Scandis are sharp, aren't they? They really are.
Sharp. They are very sharp.
It's good to see a bit of an international flavour this evening on Poker Night Live.
It was nice, yeah, and it's nice. The Scandinavians are really nice guys, generally speaking. So it's good to have them on board.
Yeah, good. Let's do a quick email before we go back to the multi-table tournament, which I believe is whittling its way down. Right, we got an email from Sox Aldino in Newquay in sunny Cornwall. I believe it's the capital for surfing. I've been down there a couple of times. Good fun. Anyway, Sox Aldino in Newquay says, I was playing an online tournament yesterday and someone on the table was saying about how the cards aren't randomised. Okay. He then follows this up with some very good points. He claimed that there was too many river escapes. Many of the flops produced potential straight draws, etc. All in the name of entertainment. Yeah, right, in a $2 sit and go, he says. So I said I was using this to learn to play before moving up to higher levels. He recommended that I cash in and give up. Okay. And the client I use will give me good cards and hands to begin with until they get me hooked. Then they know how much I'm depositing and adjust my hands accordingly. All very interesting. Now, when I was playing tonight, I kept seeing many river escapes and flops that seem a little convenient. What is your opinion about this, and how do you feel potentially about having computers controlling your luck? P.S. Great show, and looking forward to Devil's Fish on Sunday. Wow.
Saturday.
On Saturday. Well, it would be kind of Saturday then Sunday. But Saturday night. If Devilfish sticks around, that is, you never know. He may go somewhere else and play a piano or something.
He might wait for 11 o'clock as well.
Yeah, yeah. So, Sox Aldino and Newquay, very interesting point. Now, let me just give you a few tips about online play, okay? The biggest poker site in the world, I'm not going to mention their name, make, which is an industry number I can tell you, $1.6 million a day in rake. Okay, 1.6 million. It's a publicly listed company in the UK, and it's one of the FTSE 100's top companies, worth somewhere in the region of $2.5, $3, $4 billion. Okay, now you're telling me that they try to randomise their play for each player in a way whereby it makes you deposit more money, gives you river escapes, and this kind of overall situation will apply across the board on all of the sites? I just can't see it. I really can't. There's far too much money in online poker for people to do this to happen. So a nice, clean situation is what these online poker companies are looking for, and there are obviously a number of very sick individuals out there who don't believe in the way it works, and they're still playing the game, which I can't understand. Mark, this ain't going to work, is it?
No, absolutely. I mean, the thing to bear in mind is that there are... I think Price Waterhouse, for example, they check the randomisation routines. So you've got big companies who actually certify the randomisation requirements out of all these poker sites. So most of these poker sites have it. So if you want to check, just go to their homepage, whichever site it happens to be, and I'm sure there'll be some info on, you know, the fact that they've had their number generator randomised and certified. So just double check that, and I think you'll find that's the case. So nothing really to worry about. These things do happen. Hold'em is a game where, you know, it does change. You'll find there's lots of flops and unusual flops. You know, I had a situation, Barry, not that long ago where, you know, I had aces, guy had kings. This is in live. A guy had kings and someone else had queens, and the flop comes 7, 8, 9, 10 jack. So, you know, there's, you know, these, you know, that would be a perfect internet flop in effect. So these things happen live as well, and believe me, if you play enough live, you'll see exactly the same thing.
I think you have to take in consideration as well with onlines, especially when you compare it to live play, is you're seeing so many more hands per hour. On average, in a live game, you may see 35, 30 hands if you're lucky per hour. Online, it could be anything 50, 60 hands per hour. If you're multi-tabling as well, it's that you know, 2 or 3 times more. So it's an enormous amount of things, and you're going to see pretty much everything. Now, you've got to understand, when people go to the city, when they become you know, on the London Stock Exchange, the amount of due diligence they actually do for these companies like the one that we're talking about is enormous. That these kind of things would not go on in a company of this size and of this nature. And as I said, they're earning over $1.5 million a day in rate from their players. So why cheat them? There is just no point, is there?
No, absolutely, there's no point. And you know, as long as you've got into a reputable site, I don't know which one you're playing at, but as long as they're reputable, you know, just check their homepage, check to make sure they've got certified, or any of the reputable sites all have their number generator certified. Double check that, and as long as that's the case, you'll be fine.
Well, I think you'll find that there's I know of no sites really that are not, you know, absolutely kosher out there now. They're usually
but there's so many sites out there. There's sites out there that you know, none of us even heard of, and
maybe,
you know, who knows what they've, you know.
But they're usually attached to a reputable network.
If that's the case, then that's fine. Yeah.
Anyway, thanks very much for the email from Nuki. Very nice of you. Thank you very much. Now, there are a number of ways, as we said, to get in contact with Poker Night Live. Remember, it's your show. We want your feedback, your comments, your views, questions for us to make it as interesting as you possibly can. So, text 62211. 62211 is for the text number. You can also email us, as you can see on the screen there, poker@pokernightlive.co.uk. And you may have used it before, you may not have not. But if you want to hear your voice on TV, have a quick go on dialing 0906 200 7080 and leave your message or question for myself, Barry the Bully Martin, and Mark Prince Charles Banin this evening. Now, we're going to have another look at what's in the hole. What is in the hole, Mark? Do we know? We don't know, do we?
We never know. No, we never know what's in the hole.
Take us through it, Mark.
Okay. Well, we've got... let's have a look here. Okay, so got 3 folds. We've got Frankie Doodoo, pair of 6s, doubles the raise, doubles the blinds, makes it 2. Comes up to the big blind, who's flat called. Flop comes 3 overcards to those 6s. How's he going to react? Well, we decided to make a big bet, pot-sized bet. And he's been called. Comes a turn card, a non-interesting card, a 3 of diamonds. Doesn't change things really. And he's made a small bet. He's been called. He's checked, and he's checked. What's happened? Who wins? Okay, so there you are. So who wins and what's in the hole? Text the word hole and your answer to 62211. Okay, and there you go. So let's have a look at, I think, what we're going to go to. I think we're going to go to a multi-table tournament. So let's head over there and see how these boys are playing out. Okay, so we've got Jacks for Poker Pool, and he's made a little raise there. And just folded, everyone else has folded, so. Now you're going to be watching in about an hour's time a Beat the Presenter tournament with young Barry the Bully. Should be interesting. See how his style of play progresses. Now, he's going to enter the tournaments. What I'd like to do from you viewers, if possible, is to actually leave a seat for him so he can actually jump in there. So perhaps if you are about to start one of those TV sit-and-goes, leave... in fact, you've done it nicely because he's now logged in and ready to go. So... should be interesting stuff. So, yeah, so don't give us too much information, Barry.
I'm
but,
not.
Let us know how you give us little
One thing I can say, I'm still
information.
in.
You're still in.
Okay.
Excellent stuff. So there are 76 players remaining in this multi-table tournament. Okay, and our big stack at the moment, our chip leader is on just under 17,000, 16,815. So he's got lots and lots of play there. And we can see a small stack is a little over 1,000, 1,050. 1,500, I believe, or thereabouts. So he's going to need to make a move in a not too distant future, but even a small stack has got some play, 7 times a big blind, which is very unusual because most small stacks in this kind of situation would end up with about 500, 500 or 600. So he's in good situation here. Even the small stacks have got a little bit of play in their game. So, well, this is a dangerous play here by AKA. And I really don't understand why he made this move, for the simple reason that he had a pair of 7s, he wasn't beating the 8, he wasn't beating hardly anything.
That's hilarious. Chip leader, 10,000 chips, and he goes and gets knocked out. We said we'd keep on. It was the same guy, wasn't it? AKA
It was,
Cole?
yeah. It was, yeah. He really didn't need to do that. You know, if the guy had a hand, he's not going to throw it away, so why put yourself into a situation. You know, if he's got an 8, if he's got a queen, if he's got an ace, he's very unlikely to throw it away, very unlikely once he's committed that amount of chips. So he just, that was the thing, isn't it, Barry? It's just one lapse of concentration and that's what happens.
Exactly. One lapse and it all goes.
Just make sure you don't have any lapses, okay?
I'm trying not to.
So, 2 pair for both players, and that's problem of playing ace-2, and Hebdon has taken a nice little pot there. So he's looking nice and pretty. Blinds have just gone up to 150, 300. So I think we're just going to take one more hand, and then we're going to head over to our sit and go. It's going to be a $20 sit and go. So see how these boys play out. Raise with King 10. Not the most attractive of hands, especially in that position, but he's got position on the field. And he's got a flop which he could probably make a move with again, but he's decided not to. And now Sharky has just decided that he's going to represent the Queen, which he has. Get your hands down, Barry. What are you doing?
Sorry, is someone trying to bully me here on the table?
Don't they know who you are?
No.
They don't know who you are, do they? This is Barry the bully. You know, you can't bully a bully. It's the bully that does the bullying.
Well, yeah, unfortunately I was in the small blind with a very familiar hand.
Yeah, it's a very familiar hand indeed. Okay, let's get over to our $20 sit and go. So we've joined it with a nice little ace-queen suited for Eyes to Fear.
Something really funny, actually. I haven't played on this site for a long time. I can't remember actually how to raise my bet, and I've been betting the minimum every time so far, which is quite funny.
All right, just type it in.
We're here?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Kara was having the same problem yesterday.
How did she get on?
She finished, I think, 5th.
Okay,
yeah,
it's not bad.
No,
So I've
she
got
did all right. She didn't really make any mistakes.
Has anyone actually done any good? Have you played in one of these, Mark?
I was first one out.
Really?
Having said that, the blinds were 163.20, so everyone was playing super tight. So, but after about 5 levels of play, I made a move of a6 and got looked up by a pair of 10s.
Really? Oh dear.
So, but no one had got knocked out up to that point, up to 163.20. So. So let's have a look at some stats. We've got a leaderboard here showing and stack attack on 12-10. It's made an early position, an early move, and Eyes to Fear at the bottom there of 8-10. So not a lot of change there really. So let's head back over to our table. And there we are. Ace Jack for the small blind, is it? Yeah. No, for the big blind, in fact. He's got a few callers. King 9 is doing calling, but 7-8 on tilt is making a move. In fact, Barry, if this keeps going on, I'm going to wish that you're not going to win. Yeah, I've got Barry.
Can I not do a little kind of, American
I've got Barry
football
here
dance?
doing sort of dancing and waving his hands in the air.
Well, shame we're not in vision. I could show my little
Yeah, well, don't do the
victory move.
Do me a favour. Yeah, don't do the sort of the victory move that the soccer teams do. I.e., when they scored a goal, they goes
Put
around
the shirt over my head.
Put the shirt over your head, start kissing the the other players and
You'll
stuff.
be all right.
I'll be all right. Good.
Look, I've kissed people with shorter hair than you before, so although I've never kissed someone with a beard.
No.
Well, no, that's actually not true.
Oh dear.
You're good, Mark. But
Does Mrs. Bully know about that?
no, she doesn't.
Okay.
That was a long time ago.
So we won't go into that. So Ace-10 for Mr. Streaky, or is it Mrs. Streaky? I think it might be Mr. Streaky. And he's got 2 pair, and he's doing the right thing by betting away. He wants to prevent any draws. Luckily, that hasn't improved 7-8 on tilt, so all he's got is just that middle pair. He was hoping for a king to arrive or an 8. Neither of them came, so he's going to be stuck with his... well, and I don't know really what that 8 is for. He's hoping it's some kind of stop bet, I guess.
It's a piddly little bet, isn't it? Into
Yeah,
that
well, he's
pot.
hoping to stop bet. He's hoping that I think I'm still winning, but I'll try and stop your action. And he's just got his answer.
Wouldn't a check done exactly the same job as an 80 chip bet?
I think what you're saying is that if I put 80, you might just call for 80, whereas if I check, you might make it 240, and then I'll have to call that, which is even bigger. So that's probably his thinking of a sort of a stop value bet, just in case the guy was at it as well. But we saw he wasn't. Well, he's got something similar again, Queen 10, and he's up against Ace Queen this time. So I think he's determined to give on tilt to Mr. Streaky his money. But hasn't hit Mr. Streaky this time either, but he has got position. So no one's hit any part of this. Who's going to realise that no one... It's quite a good opportunity for a bet from 7-8 on tilt, I guess, but Charwell has put in a cheeky little 20 bet, see if he can win it for just a bet of 20. And that would be a real cheeky little play from Charwell if he gets away with it. And he's almost got away with it. He's knocked out 2 of the other players. He's just got 1 more to get through. And that's worked out nice for him because now he's got top pair. So he's built the pot up slightly and hit his hand. So he can now put something else through. He can put in around a 200 bet, I guess. You might think that the guy's on some kind of hand. I suppose he could be on 7-8 or something.
Possibly. 7-8 of spades would be nice.
Well, he's still calling. Mr. Streaky is a non-believer, and I think the key here is that that's a great piece of information for a lot of people. So if you're watching this and you're having this real time and you saw that Mr. Streaky called with, well, really what is absolutely nothing, then you should realise that he's unbluffable. So he's a non-believer, and he's just going to get looked up, and he does, yeah. That's the problem. When you call with nothing, you end up having to force the action. And lo and behold, he's had to try and earn the pot, and it just wasn't going to work. So Ace Queen this time for Charwell. He's raised it up. Don't like the minimum raise though. I would have liked him to have made it a bit bigger. That's, but that's quite nice for Ace Queen. A little bit wonder, but he can get away with a sort of a pot-sized bet here. See where it lands. Also put some thickener. That's too weak. Emu, really, I think M-O Emu could have called that to try and hit his 4. I think that would have been worth it because his 4 wasn't going to straighten up anyone. It wasn't going to make a flush or anything. So he could have called that. I think that was cheap enough for him to call, and there was some big implied odds if he hit. So that was not a good bet by Charwell on that occasion, I don't think, and not a good piece of play by M.O. Emu. I think he could have called for 40 or whatever it was. It was pretty small, and there could have been a possibility of some big implied odds if he hit his 4. Never mind.
It's quite funny playing this actually, because the nice thing about it is we get to watch it later on. Actually, so it's making me play quite properly. Strangely enough, I'm not going to give too much away.
No,
I'm not saying I'm playing well. I'm not playing well, but
no, we will be
creative. I think is the word.
Yeah, well, we'll be critiquing. Don't worry. Oh, the red pen will be out.
They're all, in the text box, they give me all rub downs. A lot of them. One of them, which I thought was very unfair, said one of them said, "It's good to see you've got some work after quitting Greece."
Quitting Greece?
Greece, with the hair. Obviously, the way it looks, I've got some kind of teddy boy look.
Yeah, you do have a little bit of a teddy boy look.
Who was that? Please. People with the wham haircut shouldn't be giving people from Greece the rub down.
No, absolutely.
Was you a Wham fan, Mark?
Wham?
No?
No, not me. No. You like a bit of Giorgio, do you? We won't go there.
He made the front paper, didn't he, recently?
Again,
something, I can't remember what it was, so I'd rather not mention actually on Poker Night Live.
No, we shouldn't. So let's move swiftly on. 7-8 on tilt with not much of a hand, but you could think, well, 8 Jack Jack, the only way I'm going to win this if I bet. And it's too late now, unfortunately. We've probably just got to throw this away, yeah. He could have done it himself, put the betting out, but once Charwell's bet, he's got to just throw it away. It's going to cost him too much to find out whether he can win the hand or not. So we've got sort of a semblance of sort of pure middle type of hands, king, queen, fives. Not a great deal going on. Oh, minimum bet and a minimum raise. Minimum raise and a minimum re-raise by Charwell with his pair of fives. I don't really know what the purpose of that is. I suppose it is, the only purpose I could see is to either take the lead in the betting. Well, that's really about it. Take a lead in the betting. And, well, I don't like the check by eyes.
It's got worse, even though he's made 2 pair.
Yeah, it's just now really got quite horrible. And he's pleased to win it there, I think. But I think it was too risky to actually... the board was so horrible, he couldn't... he really didn't want to check in that situation. I understand that he was hoping that Charwell might bet there because he did have the betting lead. But I think when the board is that scary, that you've got to sometimes take the lead and just forego the fact that you wanted to get a few extra chips in that pot. Might be the right thing to do in a cash game, mind you, but in a tournament it can mean the end of your tournament life if the board falls like it just did, you know, with the queen and the guy sitting there with 10 jack or something. Here, 7th pair. Well, in fact, he's tripped up there. So
Don't you find that so many players do so many wrong things in the blinds? Don't you think that happens on a regular basis to the less proficient poker player, especially in
I think even a lot of players.
Yeah, no,
old hat players.
I'd make you right. I would make you
the problem
right.
is it forces you to play a hand in the blinds that you normally wouldn't play, and because of that, you know, you hit top pair with 10-3 or something. And let's face it, it's not a particularly good hand, so... So aces here for 7-8 on tilt. I was just watching, in fact, we'll just play out this hand and see what happens. I can't see him getting any action from anyone, unless he limps in. Let's have a look what he does do. He's trying to work out the best way of getting chips in. Let's hope he doesn't run out of time, and he decided to make it 4 times. And I don't think he's going to get any action here from anyone. I was watching a replay of last night, and well, parts of it anyway.
You watch replays of yourself from last night. It's outrageous.
Oh, yeah, why not? It's good viewing.
See, that's what I like about you, Mark. Absolutely, you know, there is, you know, there's no vanity in it at all. It's purely on a professional level.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was listening to my own advice. So
did it work?
It did, although I did make a little mistake in there. I was actually saying when I was giving directions, Cass was asking, well, not Cass, was it Cass? So not last night, the night before, and Cass was asking me about how do you get to the commerce and what direction is it, and I actually told him you actually head west. And of course, if you head west from the airport, you end up in the sea.
LA is a tough one to get around. I've driven around. Actually, when we got out of the airport in LA, I hired a car, a convertible car. And me and a friend of mine were driving around, and I get into a bit of a dodgy neighbourhood. I goes, "Where are we?" Compton.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Well, Compton's what they sing about, you know, all the LA rap people.
Oh, is it?
Where it's a pretty nasty place. And we're in the middle of Compton. It's just getting dark.
Right.
So this boy goes, "Hey, you want to get out of Compton, son? This is not a good place." I'm like, "Okay, I'll drive out of Compton." So very scary. My first trip to LA.
Ah. Yeah, I got a little bit lost on the way on my first trip, but after a while you get used to it. Or it wasn't too hard. Everything's either east, west, or north and south, isn't it? There's no sort of
words of wisdom,
roads,
Mark.
roads, but
Yeah.
they don't have. It's all like a grid shape, isn't it? Everything's a grid there.
Most of it.
Yeah,
most of
they
it.
don't have sort of roads going off like we do in England, sort of all different tangents. And
unfortunately, in England, we never had the chance to you know, build the country up over just around 150 years, which the US have done.
Yeah. So it's. How's it going at the moment, Barry?
Well, I'm not going to say too much, except I think I'm currently chip leader. Am I?
Excellent.
Am I?
Excellent
I
stuff.
was chip leader. There was a pot just went on, just knocked another player out. No, I'm now second in chips.
Okay, but not that much.
No, it's all it's early doors yet.
Yeah, cool.
Look, I'm going to make the money, and then I'm going to just stick it all in.
Good to hear. Okay, so oh, this is nasty for M. He's unfortunately picked up another pocket pair, and even a 9 wouldn't have helped him there. So he was drawing pretty much dead. He needed 2 9s, and that was the only way he was going to win that pot. Because, of course, 9s full of kings wouldn't have been as good as kings full of jacks. And, of course, he wouldn't have had 9s full of kings. He would have still had kings full of 9. So that extra 9 wouldn't have made any difference whatsoever, which is pretty good for a pair of jacks when you're looking at a board like that, knowing that your opponent needs to hit running 9s to win. Don't have to worry about any particular one scare card.
I'm now just to let you a quick update from the text box from the tournament. They're now telling me I'm giving out false tells on the telly. Are you picking up a tell, Mark? Can you give?
No. But maybe they were listening to carers breathing yesterday. So
really?
Yeah. So it could be either of us breathing. Who knows?
Hello.
Yeah.
Did the heartbeat get faster?
I don't know. I didn't check. I didn't check any palpitations. No. So we better move on. What have we got here? We've got up and down straight draw for Stack Attack. We've got nothing for Eyes to Fear, and an inside straight draw for Mr. Streaky. And he's hit it. He's hit his inside straight draw. Although, and he's got even a royal. No, he's got a straight flush draw as well, just to boot.
Yep.
9-10 Jack Queen of Hearts. Looking for a King of Hearts or an 8 of Hearts to make him a straight flush. I mean, he's pretty confident that he's winning now anyway. And that doesn't change anything. Queens and 10s, not as good as a straight. 9-10 Jack Queen King. So Mr. Streaky's going to win this one. He's going to put a little value bet in here. Can he prize 160 out of him? And he might well do. Yeah, that's a good little bet there. He got not a lot else. I don't think he would have got out of him, so he done well there. So let's have a look at what's in the hole. What's showing this.
We should have some music for this, shouldn't we?
Yeah, Cass was saying that. He was trying to sing along, which would drive me absolutely mad.
Oh, I don't know, something like that.
So I'm sure we'll get. So this is gonna get you. And Jack 3 for, which always seems to be that Pakistan angle in there. I've noticed that's about 3 times I think I've seen him involved in a pot where what's in the hole. So anyway, he's not in this one though. Gonna get you. What's he got? What's he calling with? What could he possibly be calling a pot-sized bet with? Well, the guy's starting to lose interest now. He makes it only $2 now. After making it a pot-sized bet of $4, he's now making it 2. So he's clearly losing interest. Very weak play there. What's he going to do now? Is he going to get even weaker? He checks. And I assume going to get you checks as well. Just cut it off there. Not quite sure what happened, but let's assume that he checks as well. What was he calling with along the way? If you know the answer, text hole and your answer to 62211. Hole and your answer to 62211, and there'll be a leaderboard with all the correct answers over the period of time, over the month, I think it is.
The lime green table. What does that tell us, Mark?
That tells us it's multi-table tournament time.
Wow.
Watching a $10 multi-table tournament. 263 entrants initially started, creating a prize pool of $2,630. First prize was a little over $700, and last prize was, if I remember correctly, around $18.
18 grand. What a nice position with 200, 400. Not as big as our last chip leader, who was AKA Colt.
42 players remaining at the moment, and chip leader has got, let me have a quick
Buxton
look.
over there, look, 22.5k, very nice.
Kingpin Matt.
No, we've got Buxton below.
Oh,
look,
Buxton,
22.
sorry, Buxton,
it's difficult
yeah.
to see, I made that mistake, but
22,000.
two very big stacks over there.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice situation to be in. But at this stage, if you can get anything over 50 times a big blind, you're in good shape. With the blinds at 200 and 400, so he's a little over 50 times, so that's pretty good. He's looking pretty comfortable. This is, I would say, perhaps the only time where some of the shorter stacks are a little bit on the short side, but as the blinds increase, we tend to find that a lot of players get knocked out, all of a sudden there's a lot of play again. So King 9 folds round, and Buxton gets a free roll for that, which is always very nice when you've got such a mediocre hand like that. Okay, we'll just take one more hand before we head back to the sit and go, and just see how they've progressed. Ace Queen there for Cookie. He makes it 800 and gets looked up by Ace 8. And Ebdon checks. Cookie fires out another bet. And does Ebdon want to chase his 8 high flush draw? He does. Had Cookie have made a bigger bet, so had he have made just an 800 bet on the flop, he would have probably just taken it down there and then. Instead, he's made 2 400 bets, and he's still betting away. Why is he possibly betting on the river like that? For 400 as well.
He's only going to get cooler when he's beat.
Exactly.
It's
He's
a
only
ridiculous bet.
Yeah, that's a horrible bet. He's not going to get called by
It's
it.
not as though he's raised Hebden. Hebden's lit out and he's raised him.
Yeah, that's a very poor play, yeah.
If he thinks he's in front, why not just check? Because he comes over the top, he's got to fold it.
Yeah, it comes over the top, and he's not going to get called by anything unless he's going to be losing. So,
with no pair, it's an easy one.
yeah, don't know why he did that. Might want to do that if you're in first position to act, just to stop the betting, if you feel that you're in the lead, but you certainly wouldn't want to do it once there's no other action behind you. So back to our sit and go, we can see that there's only 5 players remaining. 3 get into the money. 50% goes to first, 30% goes to second, and 20% goes to third. This is a $20 sit and go, which means that there's $160 in the prize pool, $80 to first, no, how much is it? It's 50 and 30, I believe. Is that right? 30, 24. Yeah, AC 50, 30, that's right. Actually, it's might be 48.
Where's the calculator?
48 and 32. There we go. 48 and 32, I think, is the actual exact amounts. So this is where this is quite an interesting situation, because they're all looking at the 2 short stacks who are obviously nominated to go out in 5th and 4th respectively. So this could be an opportunity for Charwell to start bullying everyone, because everyone else, the other 2 guys, won't want to get involved. So he's got a chance that when he's on the button or he's on a small blind, he can just keep walloping it. And he's decided just to fold that. He thinks, well, you must have a big hand if you can make that kind of play. Now, Mr. Streaky decides to limp. And I don't like the limp by Charwell. It's not, especially when he's got that big chip stack. You know, and especially as the other 2 are short stacks there, he can make a move, and the others can't really call him without a huge hand. So, plus he had the best hand at the time. Now he's been designated second best hand. Well, he's put out a little feeler bet there, has Mr. Streaky. Wants to find out whether his ace-10 is good. And Charwell is hoping, really, for a king. Oh, that's not going to help him. Oh, dear, that's bad news for him, because he's hit his ace, but Mr. Streaky has hit 2 pair. So he did probably the minimum there, but I think he could have done a lot better by raising pre-flop. Putting Mr. Streaky on... you know, trying to get him off the hand by making a big-sized bet. Well, we can see that the pre-flop action shows that 7-8 on tilt is the most active. He's been raising the most, 31%. And right at the bottom there, M.O. Emu is the lowest. He's been raising hardly ever and calling hardly ever, so not much action for him. Of course,
Didn't do much good.
Which is why he's out. Do need to get a little bit creative sometimes in these sit and goes. Queen's there for Wassop. Pretty nice hand. Meister Fear is wondering whether that's the hand you should make a move with, and absolutely not. He's only got one card to aim for. He's hoping that king high might be good, and it's nowhere near good. King 6 on the big blind. Will stack attack make a move here? Problem is that it's really only a call for Charwell, so he's really got to find something, I think, better than Jack 10, but that would have been acceptable had he decided to make a move there. He's got potential possibilities. We've got Queen Jack now, so that's a little better. He might decide that's the hand to move with. And I don't think he's going to get much better in the next two hands, so he might well decide to make a move. And he is, and I don't blame him. Ice to Fear might decide that this is his chance, no. And he's not going to look him up, and Wassop almost certainly has to look him up. And he's hit his jacks, that's pretty good, so as long as he doesn't see a king, stack attack will double through. Oh, look at that, how horrible is that? Well, he was behind, I suppose, so you can't say that justice wasn't served. So I think he made the right move, though. Sometimes you can do the right things and it just doesn't work out for you. So unlucky stack attack. Down to the last 4 players at the moment. No one's got really any semblance of a hand, so might be an opportunity for. Well, the thing is everyone's looking at his stack and they think, well, he has to call now. He's got 3/4 of his money in there. I think so. There's no point trying to fish him off it. And they've all folded. Well, they've all folded. So. Pair of 6s now for Charwell. I'm sure he's going to be pushing with that. And he is. And he wants to raise here. He wants to isolate him, and he does. That's a right play. Well done, Charwell. Doesn't want the guy creeping in with any old nonsense. And look at that, he's hit trip jacks. He needs a 6 on the end. Doesn't come. So House of Jacks. Jacks full of 9s. He's going to take this one. Time for some stats. Percentage of hands played, 1. Played hands, 1. So Mr. Streaky leads that. He's an amount of hands he's played. He's won 80%. And we can see Charwell not that far behind, as is Wassop, which is why they're all still playing. As is Ice to Fear, all won well over 60%. And we can see even Stat Attack was up there, 62%, but we just saw him get knocked out, unfortunately. Not many hands to choose from here. Down to 4 players. No one wants to go out in 4th. And this is a good little play here by Ice to Fear. I like this play. Got King 9 suited. It's not a great hand, but it's good enough to be putting in your chips and hoping that no one calls you. And he's only got 2 players to beat. And Charwell can't call with a Queen 3. I don't even know what he's thinking about. And Wassop obviously can't call either. It's too many chips for him to put at risk. King Queen. Blinds have just gone up, 326.40. And if Charwell makes a move here, which he's probably going to, no, he doesn't. Well, will Wassop make a move? No, he doesn't either. So, Ace Deuce. For Mr. Streaky. Will he make a move? He should do. He should do, making a move. Not the greatest of hands, but ace high, 4 players up, and he does. And will Ice to Fear call? Difficult one for him. I don't think he should, but it's not a bad hand. It's very, very tough. Very, very tough. He does elect to call. He's behind. He needs a king or a 9. Oh, in fact, that's not going to help him now. It's all over. Yeah, very tough one, that. I think I might have just waited. I don't mind making it. You see, I like to be the mover, not the caller in this situation. So So we'll... how will these guys play out the last three? We're down to 3 now, all into the prize money. Next player goes out, will get $32. Next one after that, 48, and after that, 80.
I'm back.
You're back.
We're all done.
We're all done.
Just
okay.
just saying, you know, good game, chaps, and everything.
Okay. So don't tell anyone how you did.
We won't.
Don't look too happy or too sad. Well, 7, 8, 9, 10, but the ace is on the end.
It was never going to
pass. We have a winner, Mr. Streaky. Okay, let's have a look at a chip movement graph. Perhaps you can take us through this, Barry.
I would love to. I'm sure you're very dry after all that speaking. Well, one thing these graphs always tell us is Mr. 7 Bon, is that?
7, 8, 7, 8.
7, 8 on, had all the chips at the end, which was all very interesting. And at the start, is it Mr. Streak? I can't tell by the colour. Anyway, the very light-coloured part of the graph at the end with the high thing, Mr. Streaky, as I'm now told, won the tournament. And didn't he play well doing that?
He did. He played very well. He played very well. Thanks for that. That was real technical
very
stuff.
Insightful.
Yeah, very insightful. That was real helpful.
So my eyes are all blurred from looking at the screen for
get
the
back
last
onto that.
yeah.
Get back over there.
No, I'm trying to liven people up. You know, it's whatever. Should we look at an email? I think we could have a quick look. I've got one here from. Let's have a look. Email from Stamper in LA. Hi Stamper, how are you? Thanks for watching over there in other side of the pond in LA. One of it.
I wonder if he was playing in the Commerce.
Maybe. Where'd you play, Stamper? Email us and let us know. Anyway, great show as always, guys. Can you tell what the difference is, or can you tell me what the difference is between playing tight aggressive versus tight weak, and which one is better? I think, me personally, tight aggressive would be better. Tight weak, that's a strange combo, isn't it?
Tight weak.
It's more like tight passive, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Rock passive. Me personally, Stamper, has to be the tight aggressive style. That's the one that usually you'll find is the winning combo for, especially for tournaments, on an ongoing basis. Tight aggressive would be the way that I would, if someone come to me and said, please teach me how to play poker, well then the tight aggressive way is the way I would teach someone. Tight weak,
Has anyone ever asked you to teach them poker?
Sorry?
Has anyone ever asked you to teach them poker?
Yeah. Yeah, on many occasions.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a very quick lesson.
Postage stamp.
Yeah?
Back a postage stamp.
What do you mean? I don't know via mail correspondence. Is that what you're saying? No. Okay. No. But quickly back to Stamper. Sorry, mate. Yes. Tight aggressive. That's the way to play. Tight weak. Not my idea of fun. Bit of a calling station. Quite rocky. It's a license to lose money, isn't it? Tight weak, wouldn't you say, Mark?
Yeah, basically, the difference being is that tight aggressive means that you wouldn't play many hands, you'd play premium hands, but with the ones that you do play, would play very aggressively, i.e. you hit the flop, you're betting at it strongly, even if you hit the flop and someone's bet, you would re-raise, that kind of thing. Whereas tight weak, what would happen is you would hit the flop, let's say you've got ace-queen or something, comes queen high, someone's bet, you're just calling. Because you're playing tight weak.
Not good.
So that's not good, no, because you're giving a guy a chance to, outdraw you, and he's on some kind of draw, or he's got ace-king or something, and, well, whack, bang, the king comes on the turn of the river. Unfortunately,
you're leaving down to your cards to play the game for you, and No Limit Hold'em is not about the cards. As much as anyone wants to tell you, it's about, playing the table, playing your chips, betting in the right amounts at the right times. Anyone can sit there and wait for aces and kings and play them, but if you play aces and kings in a weak, tight manner, most of the time you're going to get them broke. And that's not the way to be a winning poker player, I would say, Stumper.
Yeah, there's a clue in the words weak.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to have another look at what's in the hole. See, it needs music, doesn't it? It's just like, or something. I don't know what it is. Maybe our technical department can come up with some kind of little jingle for what's in the hole.
Yeah, I think they're going to need to, aren't they?
Gonna Getcha. See, let's have a look at it. This is a 50-cent $1 game, raised by Frankie Doodle with his sixes. Comes round to Gonna Getcha, who's in the blind. We don't know what he's got. Just flat calls. So puts an extra $1 in. Gonna Getcha checks. Frankie Doodle has a think. Bets out $4. Gonna Getcha. What's he got? Oh, we don't know. That's why it's called what's in the hole. We just can't tell. We don't know. Mark and I sitting here, we don't know what I'm gonna get you is gonna turn over. So you know, very interesting. And we'd like you, the viewer, to text us, email us, let us know what you think's in the hole.
How do they do that, Barry?
They can do that by texting the word hole to 62211, I believe. And that's the word hole, H-O-L-E, 62211. The run out of T, you see, I've not.
Run out of tea or teeth?
Teeth, T and teeth. There's a T in teeth, you know.
Yeah, there is, yeah. So text hole, and don't forget to text that word, the answer in there as well.
Oh yes, the answer would be good. If you just text hole and 62211, actually you're not going to give us any info whatsoever. It's just going to be the word hole in there. And even though it may cost you some money to send us in, it's not going to be that interesting for us to read out. And Mark from North London says, nothing. That's not going to be much fun for us really, is it?
No, not good at all.
Let's not do that. So the answer, so if you think it's ace jack, pair of tens, pocket deuces, whatever you want, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. So, another email. We've got one here from David in London. Hi Barry. The reason why there are so many Scandinavian players is that it's cheaper to play online than go out for a night, especially in Sweden. Now, I'll tell you what, cracking email, and what a good point, because how expensive is it to go out in Stockholm? I went out, I was over there. Yes, it is cold, that's right. It is very, very cold as well, but how expensive? Went out, bought a round of drinks. Let me tell you what the round was. A couple of bottles of beer, a JD and Coke, and I think a glass of sparkling water. It comes to like 30 quid.
Really? 30 quid?
30 quid.
Oh dear.
It was
I thought we had it hard here.
390 kroners it was, which is 12 kroners to the pound, or 100, yeah, 12 kroners to the pound. 30 quid. You know, I know these Swedes like to get it in, but unfortunately it was out of my pocket over the counter to pay for the drinks. But lovely place. If you've never been to Sweden, you know, really nice place to go. I just wouldn't go out drinking there if I was you. Actually.
Yeah, or take one in your pocket.
Probably not. No, because it'd get cold and freeze up, unless it's like vodka. Actually, I went to a really nice vodka bar there. It was actually called the Ice Bar. And the bar was made out of ice. You put a special coat on with a woolly hat and this cool silver coat because it's 35 below. And they serve you vodka in these kind of block ice glasses. Amazing.
Really?
Yeah. And it goes, it's like...
Who would want to go to a place like that? A freezing cold place? It's like sitting in an igloo.
Yeah, but it's you know, it's pretty nice. Bit of chill out music. Chill. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Should we have a quick email, Mark, I think. Yeah.
Okay, let's go
Obviously,
for an email.
let's see if someone else can give me some more lines to work on.
Yeah,
Right. Email, please. Email from Jason. Thanks, guys. Sounds like a bad beat one already. I was one off the button. Thought he was making a move with the cup lead. I think you meant chip lead. Plus the cup lead.
Sounds like a what's in the hole competition.
Yeah, with the chip lead, plus had a lot of outs. And I think I must have been on tilt from the Irish game. Loads of laughs. And the fact I lost with ace-ace twice. This is Jason who's talking about out on the bubble.
All
so
right.
we asked him to email back in to let him know what was going on. I'm only 21, I'm still learning, you know, that's my excuse. Well, you know, the good thing you are doing, Jason, is you're watching Poker Night Live. You know, hopefully, Mark, especially Mark, not me, I'm just an idiot, but me and Mark hopefully teach you a few things that's going to help your game and turn you from a bubble player to a winning player long term, which is what this program is all about. You know?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's about the player. That's it.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't worry, you're always learning, Jason, always learning.
I think we've got time for just one more before we go to the break, Mark. Okay, now, got an email from Anderson. Hello, Poker Night Live, says Anderson. I've played poker for about 6 months, so I'm pretty new to the game. I've only ever played cash games. My question is, how do I play 8-3 unsuited under the gun? This is a tough one. It may take a while to answer this one, Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's big to throw away this in the muck. Should I raise or just call? Please help me out. Well, Anderson, it's a tough one. 8-3 is a pretty strong... Was it no, it's suited as well.
Oh, it's suited.
Suited.
That does make a
it's
difference.
8-3 suited. It's a very, very big hand. Now, me, it's an easy raise. I'm going to make it 4 or 5 times the big blind. If it gets re-raised behind me, I'm pushing it all in. This is an easy one. Mark, you're looser than me. How are you going to play it?
Well, I like to provide the limp effect. So I'll limp in under the gun, you know, pretending that I've got aces.
Yeah.
And then when someone raises, I'll just push in at that point, and they'll think, oh, he's got aces. He must have aces.
So unless he's got aces, He'll pass, unless he's got aces. He's got to pass the kings.
Unless he's got aces or kings, absolutely. Well, maybe kings as well.
Kings he can pass.
Yeah.
If it was James Browning, he passes in a heartbeat, his kings.
he probably would.
No. Anderson, I really like your email, but at the end of the day, 8-3 under the gun in a 4-ring game. Stretching it. Being serious.
Even
now.
for me.
Even for us.
Even for us, yeah. Who are the more looser of the presenters.
Yeah, compare us to like Tom and James. We're complete lunatics.
Yeah, we won't play King Queen, never mind.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, 8-3, no good, my friend.
No, suited or unsuited. Suited makes no difference. I know it was a bit of a tongue-in-cheek email, but we had to answer it. Anyway, look, again, really like to your emails. 62211, poker@pokernightlive.co.uk. We're going to go for a very short break. Join us back in a few minutes, back here on Poker Night Live. Welcome back, Poker Night Live. Myself, Barry, the Bully Martin, alongside Mr. Mark, Prince Charles Banin.
Absolutely. Did you like my little Prince Charles dummy that time?
No, I thought it was hideous. Why did they call you Prince Charles?
I don't know, it's just a name.
Was it something you give yourself?
I think so, yeah.
Is it the nose, do you think?
The nose? No, I think it was the sort of the royal blood. Sort of the blue blood.
Have you got blue blood in you?
Of course.
Would you like some?
No, thank you.
Anyway.
What did you mean by that?
I don't know, actually. I don't know what I meant by that.
I don't think I want to know.
It kind of just come out.
Would you like some? That sounds like an old joke.
No, you should have said... the way it goes is, when someone says, you ask me, have you got any Irish in you? Anyway, it's a daytime show, remember. This gets repeated 3 times in the day, so let's not go. Family show.
Absolutely.
Anyway, speaking of family shows, let's go to What's in the Hole?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to reveal the answer. Here we go.
Are we? Okay.
So how are we going to see the answer? Right at the end? Should we see it at the start? Oh, we're going to see the whole hand played out. Jack Queen.
Jack Queen of
Wow,
clubs.
that was a bit under the radar. I didn't see this one coming, Mark. Did you?
Let's have a look. What happened? So
did he catch anything on the flop? I can't remember.
He did. Yeah.
So Frankie Doodle,
he had middle pair, I think.
He doubled
and a straight draw, an inside straight draw.
Yeah, double the big blind. So Jack Queen, not a bad call, was it, in the big blind?
No,
suited.
it's okay.
Have a look at a flop. Ah, he's up and down. See, I thought it was something. Up and down with his.
Up and down,
yeah, it was up and down. The sixes.
And then he's caught his queen. Yeah.
Now bets. Thinks, okay, I'll have a look at the turn for that kind of money. It's nothing on the turn. Checks again. Frankie Doodle thinks, what's going on here? What shall I do? What shall I do? He bets 2, which was a strange one anyway. Any way of getting a draw out there, wasn't going to do it.
Nope.
And he priced him in, which was Frankie Doodle's big mistake. Check on the river. Queen hits, and thank you very much for going to get you Queen Jack. I didn't. That was well below the radar for me. I didn't see that one.
Did you?
I didn't.
I thought that's probably what it was. Remember, one of my thoughts on that was that he's either on a weak ace, middle pair, or he's got a draw. So I think a draw was most common.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
It was a good. It was. Queen Jack. It was the way it played out. He didn't do nothing wrong. I thought the two on the turn was a weak bet for the sixes.
Very weak, yeah. But at the end of the day, he's got nothing, has he? He's got a pair of sixes, 3 overcards. Really didn't have much to do in that hand.
So if you did text in with the right answer, Queen Jack, then you will be going into onto the leaderboard, which is shown at the end of the month.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure there's a plethora of prizes coming your way for the person with the most correct answers during this time. And there's a new one coming in half an hour, so I'm led to believe. So, what's in the hole part 2 for this evening?
Yeah.
Marvellous stuff.
It is. So, shall we go into your little tournament?
Okay, here we go.
Let's have a look, see how you did.
It's a $30 sit and go with me playing. We're going to watch me. There I am in seat 1, 2, 3, 4 with a monster holding. Look at that, 5-10 off. And I thought he was at it, Nicky, my blind from under the gun. I thought about re-raising him here, but I thought best off with letting it go.
Yeah, I think that's a wise move.
There you go.
So, not a bad starting hand, ace-jack.
Yeah, well, depends in what position. In the small blind, it's not something you want to be is facing a raise, that's for sure. Ah, hoofy on the button, fair enough to make a raise with that kind of hand. Now, I actually thought about coming over the top here to see if my ace was any good, to see if I was up against a really big hand. But, I'm going to have to make it, say, 200 or 220 to make it big enough.
And you're almost committed to the pot.
Correct. And now I thought, OK, I'll flat call, see a flop, hit a perfect flop.
Yeah, that's worked out nice for you.
Yeah, and I thought I would get a I'd get a check raise out of it, but I can't remember actually what Hoofy did on the turn. No, actually,
He didn't,
he
yeah.
didn't do anything. So it's come a innocuous card on the turn, really. So I'm thinking now it's time to bet with 2 diamonds and the paired 8.
Yeah,
I'm thinking I'm
absolutely.
still in front. This is the stage when I actually can't figure out how to make my bets big, and it only said cool, bet 20. So Hoofy's thinking that's a bit of a weak old bet, and it probably made him raise actually, which was
Yeah.
a bit of a.
That's why I thought you did it. I
It was a
actually thought you
strange
did
play,
it.
wasn't it? It was a strange play.
I
It
thought you
actually
did it
worked out.
to encourage a raise.
Now with a 10 come, he's bet. I've now induced the bluff by him betting 120. I've now thought that he thinks I'm playing it weak on some kind of diamond draw, and I'm going to bet out.
So basically, the fact that you didn't know how to make a proper raise it earned you some chips.
It did. It looked like a weak kind of, here's a 20, let's have a feeler out. But I actually did have a hand.
Maybe we shouldn't have told you where the raising bar was. That
Who
way
knows?
you might have earned some more.
Let's see what happens, eh? Let's see what happens. Anyway, look, all I've got to do to beat you is to actually not go out first. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Right. Let's see if I can do that. I'm in good shape currently. Currently chip leader, which is good. So, can the bully beat the Prince Charles? Let's have a look. Just a reminder, this is a $30 sit and go that we're playing here.
Yep, everyone started with 1,000 chips.
Yeah.
And 3 prizes here.
Do you like my limp there with 9-10 suited, Mark? Is that how you'd have played it?
Yeah, pretty much. I think you've done the right thing there.
Ooh.
Quite a nice flop for you.
Except Geordie's got 2 pair, which is always fun.
Yeah. You want to...
I didn't. This multi-way, I decided not to bet.
No, I think
because
you can't, because then you're starting to get committed to the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's worked out nice for you.
Yeah, no, I got lucky on the turn because poor old Geordie was sitting there hoping for a bit of a check raise in first position.
Yeah.
And would you have done the same with 2 spades? Would you not bet out there? I
think I would have
done.
bet out, yeah. With so many players in the pot, I would have bet out.
Now with 40, I'm now putting him on 2 pair, or maybe a bigger flush, but that didn't come into my mind, so I decided to make a bit. I think I raised here at this point.
Did you?
Yeah.
Fancied a raise? Didn't fancy slow playing it?
No, I didn't
You've only
fancy
got a
slow
one-
playing. I've only got a 10-eye flush. It's not as though I've got an absolute monster.
Yeah.
But
I think I might have slow played it myself, especially as I've got position on him. I'll take the chance that another spade won't come.
Yeah.
With 1 card to come.
well, that's a chance that I didn't want to take.
But he's called
Nice
you
thing about
anyway.
it, I got paid off, and
Yeah.
he paid me off on the.
Well, the nice thing about it is he's got such a strong hand that he's
top
going to pay
two.
you. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it counterfeited him. Well, kind of counterfeited him with a paired 3 on the end there. But he still paid me off. I didn't really want to get too involved, but I still felt my flush was in front.
Yeah, I think it worked out nicely because of the fact that he had 2 pair.
Yeah.
You know, so what you did sort of worked out okay. I think you might have scared him had he have had a sort of a weaker queen or something.
Yeah.
Well, this is not too good for Charwell here, is it? Pair of tens.
No, it's not good whatsoever.
And Mr. Perfect, he's betting his draw, which is a shame, because he's going to get re-raised.
Well, you think Swanley's going to get busy now with his pocket jacks. And Charwell's thinking, what's going on here? Straight on board.
I thought I had the big best hand.
Yeah, been a bet and a raise round to me, and I've got an overpair. What are you going to do with the tens, Mark? I'll probably lay it down, actually. Yeah, it's good. Great fold.
It is a good fold,
by
yeah.
Charwell. I must say it was good.
I'm surprised that he's folded there for the small amount extra. So have
Well,
to peel off one more card.
Just at, was it
140 or something?
three times his bet.
Yeah.
Was he really getting odds to hit his up and down? Maybe not.
He's probably getting implied odds, I think. If
Possibly.
he's read him, especially for an overpair,
Yeah.
if he thinks he's an overpair, if he hits that, he's probably still going to pay him, I think. Good chance.
I must say the nice thing about playing with the guys on the and girls maybe on the table was a bit of chat going on, trying to rub me down. Saying
Trying to send you on tilt, huh?
they were trying to say that I looked like someone from Greece, which is very unfair of them. How dare they?
Well, how long have you been... How long
Yeah.
have you had that Barnet?
Greece. Oh, not long. It's just something that my missus concocted. Trying to keep up with the time. Yeah, I'm getting old, Mark. I'm trying to push back the years. Now, anyone knows me knows that the 2-5 at the gut shot is called the powerhouse. And when I get the powerhouse, I have to raise. Unfortunately, which I found out, Charwell behind me with the monster. And he flat called. I can't believe he actually flat called me.
Well, only position raised from you, so he's expecting a bit more than 5-2, I think. Maybe a pair.
Unfortunately, I've now got a bet. Now he's flat called. I'm not going to just check this because I'm out of position. So I thought a check was not the way to do it. So I thought I'd make a
check raise will cost you too much.
Yeah. And check. I'm not going to check call. Not with that hand. Hopefully he's got, you know, pocket jacks or something he can fold. But it's not a bad flop from him, is it, ace king?
No, that's pretty good. He's not going to lay it down. Did you have any thoughts of following it through? Re-raising?
Absolutely not.
No,
no. It looks like a bet that really wants a caller. And if I've got a flush draw in that position, I'm probably gonna check call with a flush draw out of position. Deuces never loses. Let's see what happens. You gonna play a small pair like this, Mark? You gonna flat call?
Oh yeah,
Try
absolutely.
And
yeah. I know some of the other presenters might not, but I'm certainly playing it. Well, you've hit a little flush. No, you've hit a little straight.
Now seeing the cards,
I
didn't realise Charwell was so strong. Actually,
gosh, he's flopped a flush, eh?
He absolutely got me locked up here.
Oh, this is bad news for you, isn't it? At this point,
could go broke here.
Yeah, what's he going to do? He's probably just going to flat call. I take it. Probably there's only one card that he's worried
about. Second nuts.
That's
all. You know, he's got to be very, very happy about it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's only. Well, he's not too keen on that one, though, is he?
But he's up and down straight flush. He's a monster hand still.
Yeah.
I decided I was going to check call. If it a bit big there, I'm going to fold. But
really, you're going to fold that? I suppose. Yeah.
If he makes it 700, 600, you know, a big over bet, I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
But he probably doesn't want to scare me off with this kind of hand.
No.
So the pair up, now I think myself, I am in front. If he's got a flush, he's going to have to pay me off, which he did.
He done well, only just to pay you your asking price and not re-raise you.
Yeah. I got lucky, but it was, you know, we both hit a monster flop. I bet bottom set against his second nut flush.
Yeah, no one's done anything wrong there.
Not really.
No. It's just one of those cold deck situations.
Yep. So now, look at this. You know, I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, you've doubled
my starting stack,
and everyone else is sort of way behind you at the moment.
Yep, no one's really you know, can do much damage to me. So my idea was to stay out of the way and try and play position and try and play you know, some premium cards.
Yeah, well, you've hit a couple of nice hands. You've hit the set of twos. You
had the ace jack
and the ace jack that hit a jack on the flop.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah, you've had a good start, so that's going so far so good.
Thanks, boys, in the studio, by the way. Thanks for showing up the leaderboard when I'm top. Always nice to see. Barry the Bully, top of the leaderboard. Can't see some stats. Can't see if I've been the most aggressive by playing the most hands and stuff. Okay, we're going to see them in a minute. So the boys in the studio tell us. So they'll be up shortly.
Oh, there's the famous 8. Oh no, it was 8-3, wasn't it? We're talking about
the 8-3. That was under the gun, though, Mark. If you remember rightly.
So.
Oh, look at this. Hoof is in bad shape here, isn't he?
Yeah.
Pocket 10s. Oh, he was in bad shape.
Yeah, he's not anymore. We're about to see, well, unless an ace or a running king jack appear.
Is he going to flat call this Hoofy? I suppose you've got to, haven't you?
Yeah, I think so.
You can't be getting too busy with this.
Having said that, you might want a minimum raise.
Minimum raise you all in. You know.
Yeah, true. I think the thing is, it's Queen 10, a couple of paint cards. They don't want to let anyone else in too cheap.
There you go.
It's all in anyway.
Oh, that's ugly.
What a nasty way to go.
See, I didn't see the cards. The ace, he flipped the aces over. I actually wasn't paying attention, probably. I'd passed and talking to you, but that was nasty. Poor old Hoofy.
Yeah, Hoofy was
absolutely
unlucky.
Nothing wrong. Look, even on the flop, if he pushes in, Swan's going to call in an absolute flash anyway.
Yeah, he is. It's not,
the aces.
He's been cold decked. Yeah, so not a lot you can do.
Now, me and Swan with all the chips, and the rest playing catch-up.
First to bet.
Should do.
No, Mr.
Got
Perfect.
position as well.
So, did you play this hand, Jack 8? No.
No, I think it was a...
Didn't fancy that Jack 8 suited.
Not really.
And cut off. Any reason?
No, I just, you know, I had a feel that I didn't want to play it. You know, that was it. Because I'm saying to myself, the blind's at 20-40. Why give away raising, you know, your raising scenario when you know, give away your game plan too early when I want to start nicking some blinds a little bit a little bit higher level.
Uh-huh.
Simple as that. So that's why I decided to lay that hand down. When I would have taken the blinds down, no doubt, but I don't want to risk 100 odd chips for to win 60.
Yeah. You didn't fancy limping in with it?
Not really.
No.
No.
So what's happened to this sort of loose, aggressive style that I've
See,
been hearing
that's
about?
the problem. You see, I'm on the. I'm trying to show it my.
You're like a rock.
Yeah, I am playing like a rock. It's great, but look, you know, in sit and goes, there, I don't really see no point to get too involved too early. I've played a couple of marginal hands in pocket deuces and ace jack, and you know, I've
Not forgetting the 5-2, obviously.
the 5-2, yeah, unfortunately, ran up against the ace king and then bet out. See, I'm not that rocky. I played the deuce 5 and then led out on a king.
So
on a flop.
where did this fascination with Deuce 5 come?
Oh, there was a particular pot at the gut shot one night. The guy won like a £7.5 grand pot. It was
Like a cash game?
Yeah, 2-5 against pocket aces, and pocket kings. And the flops come. I think the flops come like king. What was it? King 4-3 or something, and his sixes. Anyway, loads of money's
He's
gone
basically
in.
hit it straight.
Yeah, against a set and and the over aces, and it's been hilarious actually.
So
And
since then?
it's called the guy stood up and goes, "Yes, the powerhouse," and that's how it kind of stuck. So
Anyone I know?
the gut shot powerhouse. No, you wouldn't know.
Oh.
Just a regular club player. Surprise, surprise, he's not I won't mention his name because he's not a long-term winning player playing 5 deuce. I think he put like 600 quid in pre-flop with it. and his line was, "It was suited."
It was suited.
Yeah,
Yeah, the famous old saying.
yeah. As you go to the cash point. So, I'm in the big blind, put 40 in, I've got a call, not much more. To
150?
make up. Yeah, not much. I thought I'm in good shape, which I was. Hands go over. Can only hit a 7 or you can pair up. And he got lucky.
Yeah, it's split pot.
Yeah,
Aces and 5s with a king.
both had the king. 7 or 10 didn't play.
So that's
There you go. It's a good call.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
He's gone straight away all in again.
This time with ace-8,
Entering the small blind.
yeah, I'm thinking to myself, do I want to commit another 180 chips with that kind of
Yeah.
hand? Even though I'd have been a 50-50, there's not many hands I want him to see flip over.
Yeah, if you were in a big blind, you probably would have called.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
But not in the small blind.
No, because at the end of the day, you don't know what the guy's going to do in the big blind. You know, he
No.
might have a monster,
Absolutely.
and then you have to throw it away and just wasted 180. Yeah. Does that make sense? All sort
I'd
of,
rather record
good
with-
reasoning.
Yeah, I'd rather record with a non-ace because it's quite easily the guy could have been pushing with a bigger ace than mine, which means I was dominated.
4-5, any good to you?
I don't know, I can't remember if I raised with this or not. I know I started raising a little bit more when the blinds had gone up. 40-80 was my kind of, I decided to put the foot down a little bit. Maybe I was talking to you and I hadn't done anything, but no, I think it was a fold actually. Giving it the full Hollywood dwell up there with the 4-5. I've played very conservatively up
Yeah,
to
if,
now.
nothing different that I could critique so far.
See, look at that. I mean, a percentage of hands played,
26.
very much in the middle there, only 26%.
26, it's pretty standard sort of stuff.
Yep. Not got too much out of line, which is good.
No, you've been very well behaved. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to give the wrong impression. I'll leave the impressions to Mr. Browning.
He's got a few.
Still 40-80 with the blinds here, and with only one player gone, you'll find when the next level comes around, it's going to be, it's going to put a few people in that kind of red zone mark. We're going to find it very difficult now to start making moves.
Yeah, 81-60.
That's right. With 690 or the like, it's you're now having to commit pretty much your whole stack.
No. Still got a spade draw, but it
Yep,
doesn't come-
spades or a 10 actually would have won it for Geordie, but alas not. Now, Swan Lee takes the lead. Look at that, suited connectors, whew, hitting the muck straight away.
Yeah, it's very disciplined of you.
Very disciplined. It's difficult, you know. I said I'd play my A game, not, you know, not get too creative in the early stages, which I think 48 would be the latter part of the early stages.
If you're on the button in that situation, you play it, then I take it.
Yeah, I would, and I would probably raise with it as well. I'm not much for limping unless you know, unless it's a multi-way pot. You know, it's been limped to me, and I've got, you know, suited connectors, small pocket pair or something. Then I would limp in. Swanley, another big hand. It's funny when you get a run of big hands, especially when the cards are actually playing on the table. It looked like Swan was getting busy in position.
Yeah.
Well, I can see that, you know, he's had aces, he's had ace king, he's had some pretty big hands.
Well, what you can do is 7-2.
No, I'm a bit of a dwell up and pass. I think he's going, please come over the top, double me up, please. But no. It's all very sedate currently, Mark, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So percentage of hands won. Swanley, look at that, 100. What a nice position. 100% of your hands you played,
Yeah,
you've
you've
won.
done pretty well, 80%.
That 2-5 got me in trouble, you see. If I
Yeah.
would have played that 2-5, it'd have been 100% as well.
Yeah. So basically, it looks like you're just too tight then, Barry. You know, to 80%. If you're winning 80% of your hands, it suggests that you're too tight.
Well, my chips wouldn't suggest I'm too tight.
You've been
would it?
listening to that Browning too much, I think.
No, please. No, you know, I definitely wouldn't say it was too tight. See, look, you got Swanley and myself got all the, well, had majority of the 4,000 and half the chips in play, both folding a lot pre-flop, which
Yeah,
again
you are folding a lot.
tells you that you know, maybe that was the way to play on this particular table. Do you think players play differently when they got one of the commentators on the table? Maybe looking
Yeah,
to
I
a bit of
think
a
so.
scalp, trying to be
No,
be creative, or
Well, that was the thing. I thought that's what they would do, and they didn't. They actually did the opposite. In my particular game, they played completely opposite. They were all tightened up. I think they were worried about going out early, so they didn't want to be made a fool of on TV. So
Right.
hence they tightened up and sort of reduced their starting. I mean, we hadn't lost a player until 163.20, and I was the first one.
wow.
So you've already lost two, and it's only 40.80. So puts, you know, gives you an idea of you know, how tight they were really playing.
See, that's the reason why I didn't raise with the hands in the early stages. I've got round to the button with Queen 9 there, and I've made a small ace lay down and King Jack and the big blind lay down. So they've got this kind of image that, you know, oh, he hasn't played too many hands. So 2 in a row now, and King Jack, spade,
Yeah.
not bad.
No, it's-
Definitely raising in the cut-off.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice 120 added to your stack.
Yep. Oh, the 5 deuce.
Again?
Yep, no, I think I said, didn't really like it last time. It was, I was on a hiding to nothing, let's go let it go. I usually play 5 deuce, but not in this particular, not at this juncture.
It's a pretty scary flop for both players.
Yes.
9 will probably want to have a go at it before it gets any worse, i.e. Swan Lee.
Mr. Perfect does. Well, it's a good bet.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
as scary
can't
for
call.
Swanley as it is for Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, you can't call. With a bad 9. Well, what did you do here? Do you remember?
I think I raised, actually. Yeah.
Did you get looked up by Swan Lee with ace 9?
I
Or?
can't actually remember. I don't think I did.
No, probably
I'm in early position. Remember, I'm first to speak. You know, they can't really put me on nothing too weak.
No. So that was a
And
good
I've got
flop.
chips as well, so
And you're back into the chip lead.
yes. Couple of raises just to get my stack at a nice equilibrium.
Well, blinds are starting to raise now at 81.60, down to 6 players, 3 prizes on offer.
don't realise how they really start to cut into your stack. They go around pretty quick.
They do, yeah, they do go very quick.
Well, it was an easy decision for me this year. I've decided to put him all in, having a pocket pair. He wants to call, hopefully he ain't got a pair, and I'm at least 50-50.
Yeah, I think that's a fair play.
Guarantee he's got two over, well, he didn't, but most of the time he's going to have two overcards.
There he is, old Barry, top of the leaderboard
Top
again.
of the leaderboard, top of the pops, here we go, 22-8.
Well, we can see there at the bottom we've got a couple of short stacks, Charwell and Buster Nuts,
Yeah,
who are hanging on at the moment.
yeah, by their fingernails. Again, A7 on the button there, I thought, why not?
Yeah, it's another
It's
240 onto your stack, isn't it?
Yep, it's worth a raise for sure. It's all in there with the Jack 10. Only had 30 chips left. Looks like an easy call for Charwell. As he did, moved all in. Yeah, not a bad shape, but with Jack 10.
Yeah, looking
Two
pretty good at the
overs.
moment.
But no good. So down to 5 now. Buster Nuts finishes in 6th position. It's my best hand. My lucky Jack on the river to hit my set against the second
Yeah,
nut.
your house,
Second nut flush.
very nice, worked out.
Yeah, no, it did. It played itself nicely, actually. I don't think, like we said, I don't think Charwell did anything wrong. He was very unfortunate. Swanlee getting a walk with the 7s in the big blind. Charwell moving in with the 10s. It's fair enough, isn't it? Pocket 10s under the gun. That
I think
many chips.
And he's got a pretty nice flop for him.
Yeah.
A Jack won't do him any good, and that's about finished it off. Unless, of course, a 10
Only
does
a
come.
10, yeah, which is unlikely. No, nice double up for Charwell.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice board, nice flop for him. Knowing that a Jack won't help him, so he's only drawing to an ace now. Until that turn did eventually come.
Because he just doubled up, I'm now going to play this a little differently than I did before. I thought to myself, don't get involved here, just flat call, try and see a flop with my suited connectors.
You didn't fancy you didn't fancy
I didn't
betting
fancy
out?
racing it, but now he's checked behind me, because I put him on a pretty solid player, Charwell, now I'm going to bet out.
Yeah.
I thought to
What
myself,
did
if
you
he
make,
had
240
anything...
or 320,
I
something
can't
like that?
actually remember, about 300, 320, there you go, I
Yeah.
bet the pot.
Yeah, I think that was a good play. Good play
Yeah.
by you.
Just quickly interjecting for across our tournament currently, we're going to show you how to get in contact with the studio. You can text in 62211, that's 62211. You can email us at poker@pokernightlive.co.uk, and you can also give us a call here at the studio. Leave a message, your questions, comments, etc. 0906 200 70 80. And back to the action.
So another player goes out. So 5 players remaining now. 3 for the money.
Yep. And you've got to fancy me making the money now, Mark, haven't you? You know, being chip leader, even though I'm not enormously stacked at 25-20.
You're looking pretty healthy.
Yeah, you got to fancy me getting in without, unless I, find kings against aces or some ridiculous coup like this. You got to fancy me getting into the money now.
This is a big part of Mr. Perfect Stack, and he's
Yeah,
I think that's the only way you can play it.
I was thinking to myself, it's going to cost me. This is my tournament here.
It's going to cost you $1,000.
Do I want
basically.
to stick it all in with Ace Jack?
Yeah, it's not going to stick in all. You still have 1,000 left, more or less.
Was he raised it?
1540.
Another leave me 1,000, which I would be second lowest chips, which I didn't really want to do.
Yeah.
And I think I could pick a better spot than shoving it with Ace Jack.
Yeah, no, I think so.
I couldn't.
too.
If I'd have known he's got pocket nines, it's an easy call because I'm getting more than 50-50 on the chips I'm putting in. But I didn't know this. Mr. Perfect has been playing pretty solid. I decided to lay it down. Would you have done the same thing with Ace Jack there, or are you going to call?
Difficult, isn't it? Difficult. I don't know. I can't tell you. I think I'm very much on the fence. I think certain times I would call and certain
It's
times...
a tough one, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
Ace Queen, I probably would have called. Ace Jack is very marginal.
Yeah.
Pocket pair.
Ace King, definite.
Ace
call.
King, definitely. Aces, Kings, Queens, and Jacks, I think I call it.
Ace
yeah.
Queen, Ace Jack's very marginal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have called with Ace Queen. May have called with Ace Queen. Because you're only really not wanting to run in Queens, Kings, and Aces then.
I think the overall the laydown was the best move.
Yeah.
The laydown, you know, regardless of the fact that we could see his cards.
The best you could possibly be probably is 50-50 there in that situation.
Yeah, and more likely you're likely to be dominated.
Absolutely. Because if you run into Ace King or an overpair to your Jack, you're in bad shape.
Yeah. So no, I think it was the right players laying it down. If it would have left you with about 1,500, that's a different situation, isn't it? You probably would have...
with the blinds at 163.20,
Oh,
I've now
even then,
got five, there's still 5 big blinds. You're going to have to push now to make a move. The reason I didn't raise there is that I knew that Buffy Be Good was pretty much committed on the in the small blind. Now I was going to get looked up, whatever happened. So raising with Ace Deuce is not the kind of hand I want to be.
No.
You know.
No, that's the thing. You want to put people off, don't you?
Yeah.
You want to win it in 2 ways.
I know, but I want them to fold. With Ace Deuce, I don't want them to call.
Yeah, and if they've got no option but to call, then there's not much point in raising. That's one of your advantages gone.
That's a quite interesting stat. Winning type of hands that we've had on the on this particular.
Yeah, seems to be 2 pair seems to be quite the most common one that happens.
Yep.
Always seems to be top of that leaderboard or very close to it.
We had one full house, I think it was, and 1 flush, both mine, which is always handy. So down to 4 now on the bubble. Who's going to go out on the bubble? Charwell looks odds on to go out on the bubble here, but you never know.
No, 7-2 against Ace-4. It's not looking good for him.
No, has he got enough to lay down with 400? He has.
Yeah, I think
he's got
he has to.
160
7-2, hasn't he?
He knows he's going to get a caller in whatever he does. Even now, he needs to be sticking it in with a. At least he's got a picture card, a face card to be putting it in with. Mr. Perfect's got a call for the extra 80.
He might as well have waited now that he's.
Yeah, it leaves him with what? Just over the. Well, was that 160? Just over the big blind. No, under the big blind actually. If he passes, is 160. So.
No, you would have had still one more.
No, he has 400, so 160 leaves him 240. So they've under a big blind. So he knows he's going to get called.
Right.
So I'm in the money.
So you're in the money. Congratulations.
Yep. But now I'm in the big blind. Now I say to myself, now I'm in the money. I'm going to definitely open up a bit and play some more. But what I found was it just like this particular hand, it just absolutely took off.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do here.
Not really, and not a lot Mr. Perfect can do either. Is it a gut shot and the nut flush draw? Now top pair. There's just no way he could have got away from this.
No.
And a nice double up for Swanley makes him a monster chip leader, and leaving me and Mr. Perfect now scrabbling around for the scraps. Once again, Swanley finds a monster hand. He has, to be fair, he has the lion's share of the hands, hasn't he, Swanley?
Mr. Perfect decides not to call. Puts him in a difficult situation now. He's got 160 involved in this pot. He's only got 9-4. So he might decide just to throw it away. In fact, he's almost certainly going to throw it away now.
Yeah, I had to nip the blinds. It didn't matter. I jack 10. If I'd have had 2-3 in that position, I'm going to raise. I cannot
You
let the
decided
blinds.
already?
Yeah, absolutely. The blinds were not going to go by me again. If I have to stick it all in, which I actually tried to stick it all in, but I didn't do my slider bit long enough, it was all going to go in, and I had to make that move.
So look at this, 326.40 the blinds are.
Yep.
Very, very big indeed.
See, it's nice. It's walk to me, and I'm just going to go. I'm going to check this down. Well, unless something miraculous comes, I wasn't going to check it down.
Well, strange play here with.
Well, considering he's considered it's all in. Is it a set? Very nice.
It's
So-
worked out okay, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Surprising play, though, because he knows that he's not going to fold.
Well, if he's not going to fold a
9-7.
9-7, he might as well raise to get me out of the way. And interesting. Now I'm thinking, great, I've got into second place without doing anything. And now I'm gonna stick it all in, whatever happens here, because I'm all in on the blind, which I was 600 and 2 pair. Thank you and good night.
Yeah, no outs for you.
No.
Well, 8 could have done it, I suppose. Not an 8, sorry. Oh,
No,
you had
no,
nine.
I had no
Sorry.
outs. On the
You had,
turn, there
Jack
were
nine.
absolutely no outs. So, you know, it was that situation in the sit and go whereby we got three-handed, and
Yeah.
there was absolutely nothing I could do because it was raise, re-raise before me, and nothing ever happened.
So I think you played pretty much an A game there.
I did. I played pretty solid.
There's nothing, apart from the 5-2 mishap, I kind of think there was...
No, nothing too
there was nothing, there was
out of the
nothing-
ordinary.
Nothing different that anyone could have
No,
done?
nothing. And there we go. We got Swanley winning it there, and he played very well. And he had, you know, you got to look at it. He had a lot of big hands. He had ace
Yeah.
queen, ace king. I remember him having kings, aces,
Yeah.
some big hands, and he done
Very
really well.
difficult to overcome that. Yeah.
So that's the problem with sit and go. You try and pick your positions, but you're not going to want to call all in, are you? With Phil fans, you don't mind
No.
pushing in and getting called. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the
No,
position.
you've got to be the person that makes the
Yeah,
action.
and if there's lots of action before it gets to you, then it makes it very difficult for you to make moves. And with the blinds at 163.20, it goes round twice, and you know 2,000 chips have disappeared.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Anyway, second, bro, I'm going to cash out very shortly. Yeah, there you go. Right, email from Stuart in Scotland. Hi, Stuart. Thanks for the email. Hi, guys. Flashy1 here. Must be one of the online players. I've been playing online for about 2 years now and still don't feel comfortable with small pairs, i.e. 2s to 6s. I usually play $2, $4, no limit. If I'm on the blinds, I usually see if it's not too expensive, but when 1 or 2 raises, i.e. $16 to go, I always seem to fold. How do you play these smaller pairs in cash games? It's a tough one, Stuart. You know, you saw in the sit and go there that, you know, me personally, I like to live with my small pairs, and if it's not too expensive to call, you know, I'd like to do so with the small pairs because, you know, if you can catch ace queens and ace kings, you know, get out of shape, they hit their top pair and you hit your set, it can be very much, you know, a hand that's very much under the radar. You get paid off, and they're easy to lay down. You know, you call with pocket fives. It comes down ace, king, jack, you know, goes raise, re-raise to you, good night, they're in the bin. So that's the way I like to play them. Sometimes in position I raise with them, you know, and try and win the pot there and then uncontested. But I do like to limp with my pocket pairs, but like most things in poker, it's very much situational. Mark, pocket pairs?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I like to prefer to limp in with them, so that's the key with those small pocket pairs, you limp in with them. When someone's raised it to 16, if I've got pocket 2s, they're almost certainly going in the bin. The thing I'm looking at is if it's multi-way, if you're getting 3 or 4 players involved, then I don't mind calling the 16.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm the first to act after the raise, then I've got to make a judgment whether I think the others are going to call or not. If my judgment is yes, they're going to call, because either I've called or because they're just going to, I feel they're going to call the way they've played up to now, then I don't mind calling. If I feel I'm the only one that's going to be, I'm going to be heads up with this guy with my pocket 2s, and I'm probably just going to throw it away. I need some value in the pot for me to call a raise. I'm not mad over calling raises, certainly big raises with pocket 2s or pocket 3s. I might be more tempted to do it with pocket 4s, 5s. It's not that there's really much difference.
No.
But
Well, there's less cards that you can have an overset on you, isn't there, with 5s and 6s and stuff like that. So, you know, I agree with you there. And you want it multi-way, really. It just adds value to the pot, doesn't it? Because,
it adds value, and it gives you, it gives you implied odds. If you do hit, it means that at least you've got a chance of one of those guys paying you off. Whereas if you just heads up, you're relying on one person hitting his hand and you hitting yours. You know, there's no good you hitting yours and you not getting paid. You know, there's no point to that.
Absolutely. So, Stuart in Scotland, thanks very much for the email, and hopefully that's given you a little bit more of an insight of how to play pocket pairs to raises and, you know, in limped pots. So, anyway. Yeah, right. Another what's in the hole time. Should we have a look?
Let's have a look, indeed.
What's in the hole? Still lacking music, I'm sorry. Listen to this. The wonders of modern technology here at Poker Zone.
Did you get your CD out or something? What is that?
I did. I've got my 1970s background. Anyway.
So we've had an early position re-raise all in. This could be absolutely anything, couldn't it?
Look, up against the what's in the hole hand of before. Man City Kid. What is it? This is a tough one here, Mark, isn't it? He's lumped it all in.
Yeah, you
don't know. Anyway, look, if you've got an idea what Man City Kid's got, even if Man City Kid wants to text in, please do so. Text HOLE to 62211. That's HOLE into 62211.
Not forgetting.
Not forgetting the answer, obviously. Which we could have overlooked there.
Yeah.
No, just text in HOLE 622. We'll stick you on the leaderboard anyway. We'll say you got the right answer. No. Text your answer in. It's going to be... That's a tough one. What information we've got to go on?
None.
He's moved all in, short stacked.
Yeah.
Could
There's
have
no
anything.
information. Did we see where the money went? Did it show?
No, it didn't.
Didn't, no. So we don't know.
Just showed the flop. In fact, why even show the flop? You know?
Yeah.
But we'll see after the break. We've got a break in 5-10 minutes, and we're going to go to a quick cash game now. Then come back to what's in the hole after the break. Okay? So, a cash game. Back to the 50-cent $1 game that we were looking at a little earlier.
And we joined it at a good time, haven't we? With ace-10 suited, pair of eights, king jack, pair and nines, pair of fours, and ace queen. There's only 2 unplayable hands there.
All right, before there's any flop, pick your hand. What are you going to have?
I'll have the nines.
Okay, I'll have ace queen. Just because it's Trev, and he was giving me the rub downs. Wow, look at this. Was there any raising?
No.
It wasn't.
1450, blinds at 1. No, there was a little bit of a raise, yeah. There must have been double the round of raise. There was two for each player, so yeah, there's been a little bit of raising.
Does Tragic fancy his gut shot jack? Runner flush draw, possibly?
Yeah, he might have a little go. How much does he put in? 5?
5 into a 15.
20 to call. Oh, he's actually raised. So
Something
he's
like
trying
that.
to buy, isn't he? He's trying to buy the river, basically.
Yeah, but this is like a limit poker play, isn't it? You know, trying the limit raise
Yeah.
to
But unless
get
he
a free
played
card.
it. No, you see, it's worked.
It's definitely an interesting card on the turn. Not for
Yeah.
Charwell, but Tragic now is thinking, OK, I think I may be in front now.
Yeah, I like that little raise there. What I don't like is Charwell's weak play there by not
Are
re-raising.
you going to come back over the top mark with the King Jack, do you think?
I think so. Yeah, I've got to put a little... probably put in a minimum re-raise back again to see what this guy's on. To see, but of course the turn doesn't help me because he's probably going to call now. Anyway, so all I've done is... But at least I know that he's probably on some kind of draw.
Yeah.
And that's probably helped him hit it.
Couple of regulars there. Look, Tragic Trev on $227. And first time tonight we've seen one of our regular winners, Johan Haran there on $203.
But he was just here, wasn't he?
Was that Johan? Was that him?
That was him.
No way.
No, it wasn't.
I didn't think so. Didn't sound like him.
What do you mean? It didn't sound no.
Exactly. Exactly. How can he pop? Yeah,
Well, I think there's
five deuce.
You know, there might be something in this. 1 minute he's sitting here and we don't see Johan Haram. Next minute he's not here anymore and he's actually on the table. So, you know, do we ever see both of them at the same, in the same place?
And I've never seen Johan before.
So
That'd be interesting. Is Johan Haran? I don't know.
well, look at this. We've got two
Two
draws
flush
there.
draws. I'd rather have the ace jack currently. I
Yeah.
wouldn't actually. I'd rather have the king, I suppose.
Yeah, he's got the king. Yeah, he's in a much better position.
Yep.
So Kulan is going to take this one down as long as he stays in the pot, and he does in fact take it down. So lots of spades out here. We've got 7 out of the 13 spades are out on the board. Snappet's folded his pair of spades. King, Queen, look, a couple of 7-8s there, a couple of monsters. The offsuit version against the suited version. Let's see who prevails. They're both in the blinds. So unless we see any crazy raising. He's folded, and 7-8 suited. Probably a fold here, I think. He's wondering what Charwell's limped in with, so he's probably going to fold, and I don't blame him. Had it made it 3, it might be worth a call, but 4, probably that $1 too much. Well, he has called. I'm surprised. Don't think it was a particularly good call there. He's out of position. It's a big raise. He's got a guy under the gun who's limped. I think it's time to fold that hand. Yes, that's right. I'm saying fold 7-8. I know it's unusual.
Really?
But
Dear me. It's not like you, Mark?
7-8, I know, but I'm out of position with it. I like to call with 7-8 in position. I don't mind calling little raises, but...
See, look, let's see if our pocket pair situation works. We've got pocket 8's limp, pocket 3's limp. Ace Jack may fancy a raise here, what do you reckon?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, me too.
Got to take the lead in the betting. I don't think I would have made it 5, but 4 would have been okay for me, but anyway, he's made it 5, so neither
Yeah,
here nor
domino
there.
effect here. I think if Snap It calls, I think he's going to price Johan into this pot. What do you reckon?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I think he will. I think
If
we'll
Snap It
play
calls, then
pocket threes.
Johan's got a call.
I think so.
Yeah, he's getting 3 to 1 his money,
Yeah, he's priced in now.
and he's getting some good implied odds, so I think it's worth a call.
He may want to raise.
It's a very simple... he might want to. I think that would be a big move to raise,
Come on, Johan.
especially as he's after he's limped behind a limper. I don't think it's a feasible play. Well, he's folded, and
Not a bad flop for smooth cut.
no, he's must be pretty happy.
Up and down.
And he's checked it. I think maybe he's wondering whether Snap It was slow playing the queen, but that was the only card he had to worry about, wasn't it, really? I'm surprised he...
Yeah, I didn't.
This is a big play by Snap It. Big, almost a pot, just under a pot-sized bet,
Was he got a gut shot draw?
and a flush draw.
Yeah, but it's not exactly a big flush draw, is it? Eight high flush draw.
Yeah, nothing really.
No, absolutely.
No, so he realised, well, if you're checking that flop, then that must be good for me. And he's done exactly the right thing. So that was a good play by Snap It there. Well done. Johan there, he's top of the leaderboard in terms of action.
Nice stat actually there, Mark. Shows you what we were talking about, tight aggressive. He's been dealt 103 hands. He's raised 15% of the time and only called 7%, which means he raises a lot more than he calls, which means he plays, when he does play a hand, which is only 15% of the time, he plays it aggressively.
Was it 22% of that time though? No, 22
No.
if you combine the 15 and 27.
That was called. 57% was called.
Yeah, so I'm saying he's playing 22% of the hands.
Playing 22% of the hands, but 15% of the hands that he
Yeah.
played compared to the 7. So double the time he's calling, he raises
Well, in
twice.
effect, so he's basically, out of the 22 hands, out of the 22%, he's raising 15, so what's that, about 3/4 of the hands he's raising with?
Yeah.
The ones he doesn't, if he is involved in a pot, he's generally
Two
raising.
thirds against the third, yeah.
2/3?
7 against 15, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. But it's still a nice stat, and that's why
Yeah.
you see Johan regularly winning in these games.
Yeah.
Because he's got a very good good strategy both across the board in tournaments and in cash games. And one, I would say, pretty much up there as one of our better players we see on Poker Night Live on a regular
Yeah,
basis.
absolutely, yeah. He always seems to have a good game. Like you said, he plays a fairly aggressive game. And he's managed to double his starting stack of $100 into $210. So he's sitting pretty at the moment, as is Snap It, who's also doing pretty well. And the two are quite far apart from each other, so they probably won't get too involved with each other, generally speaking. And in between them is Tragic Trev, who's our chip leader at the moment with $227. So he's doing pretty well. So we've got some good chip stacks on this table. Well, 2 pair for Semurizer on the button. He's limped in on the button with 9-3. And just in case there is any doubt.
Yeah, because it's not bottom 2 on that kind of board. It's not something you really want to be going to war with, is it?
No, especially with possible straight on the board already.
But now he's housed up. He's got to feel a little more comfortable. Would you say?
I think he's. I think he knows where he's at.
Yes.
He's just trying to glean the last bit of change out of him.
And why not?
This might sound silly, but shouldn't he have made it 11? I know it sounds petty, but shouldn't he have made it
Could have
11?
done. I think he'd have got paid.
Yeah, he would have got
King,
paid.
Queen. I think you make it 15, you're going to get paid there.
No, well, he's all in, so he didn't have any. I'm talking about at the end there.
Oh, did he have $1 left?
Yeah.
That was a strange one.
Yeah, so.
Okay, I didn't notice what he had left actually. So
Might not seem like much, but if you keep adding $1 here and $1 there,
Makes
soon
$2.
adds up. Yeah, soon adds up. You've got to gain in cash games. You've got to gain every percentage point that you can.
And that that's a really good point actually, Mark, because both when weaning out the most money, but also making the correct laydowns in the right position, saving money in these positions can over time be the difference between a winning and a losing poker player.
Yeah. Look, you play every day, which probably a lot of these players do.
Yep.
You do it just once a day.
Yeah.
That's $365 a year. And I'm sure those situations happen probably more than once a day.
If it's only $1,
Yeah,
if it's
imagine
$10, you do
Yeah.
that. You make it $100 a day. Wow, you're talking about a lot of money.
Yeah, it is, these things add up. So That can turn one of your sessions around. $365 just once a day. So 2 pair for Sammy Reiser, and he's going to take that down. Tragic Trev not getting involved. And we're going to take, I think we're just going to be able to see one more hand here. What's this tell us, Barry?
Very straightforward. How successful you've been at the hands that you've played. So Johan Haran with a few of the chips, as we've seen there, with what, 200 and 208. He's won 58% of his hands that he's played. So
that's pretty high, isn't it? Anything
for
over
a cash
40%
game, that's right.
generally is pretty high, isn't it?
We saw the stat a little earlier. He's what, 22% of hands that he's played at the 108. So
yeah.
He's, what's that? 108. That's about 25 hands. So he's won 12 of the 25 hands. Or no, a bit more. 14
yeah,
of the
about
25.
14.
Yeah. So he's done very well. Done very well. So the last hand before we come back in the studio here, we're going to take an email and then go to the break. Don't forget we're going to take another look at what's in the hole when you come back. Bit of a tricky one this evening. Here we go. Yeah, a bit of a tricky one this evening. The all-in from Man City fan, I think, or Man City boy, I can't remember the guy's name, but that's a tough one. Under the gun, push all in. What's he got? Well, please. Anyway, let's take a quick email from Billy. Billy from Scotland, I believe. Hi all. Loving the show as always. Thank you, Billy. You always hear how the button is the best position to be in. It is. But I also hear a lot of first person to bet the flop usually takes the pot, in which case the button is the worst place to be, isn't it? Is that your question? We'll see. It's almost a catch-22 situation, and I do fully understand the importance of position, except in this scenario. Obviously, it's dependent on many, many factors, but just what should you do on the button post-flop when a player bets into you? Well, you know, it's a difficult situation, Billy, and thanks for the email. Now, you have to take every situation as it comes. If you're playing in a cash game, you're sitting down with these kind of guys for a long period of time, you'll find out if he's a kind of either a stop and go player whereby he checks his big hands and bets out when he's not. There are some players that are very aggressive that when they're first to speak will always bet out. Now, if you've got a guy that's always betting out on the flop and if you've got position over him, you can trap him. These are perfect situation for you to trap, or a little bit over the top. These are situations you can take full advantage of, and you have to make sure that you know your players. I don't know, how would you feel about that, Mark?
The last few words that you said there, know your players, and that's the thing. There'll be some players, you know, when you're playing a cash game, you'll soon be able to categorise them. Does he always bet out on the flop regardless of whether he has it, or is he someone that likes to let a round go and perhaps bet on the turn? So these are players that you've got to make out. You know, I've got notes on players that I'll say some, you know, definitely always bet on the flop when they've raised, and some don't, you know, so that's the way to look at it. And once you've categorised your players, then you can play accordingly. And, you know, position means a big thing because it means you're acting after they've already done their thing.
That's right. Knowing your players is very important. Look, if you know your players, it makes it very easy to play against them. It doesn't matter if you've got a hand or not on the button. Having position, for me, I'll always want to be on the button. I don't know about you, Mark, but I always want to be on the button. It's a great position to be in. Position of power in poker. Anyway, we're going to be back in a few minutes. Thanks for joining us at Poker Night Live. See you in a couple after the break. Hi, welcome back. Poker Night Live. You've got myself, Barry the Bully Martin, for the last hour, alongside Mr. Mark Banin. Mark, the last hour. Looking forward to some more frantic poker action.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. So we'll pop into the multi-table tournament. Be interesting to see how these boys are developing.
Did I mention I come second in the beat the commentator? Did we see it?
Beat the commentator?
Beat the presenter. Beat the commentator.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Beat the presenter.
I come second.
You didn't need to mention. I actually saw it.
I'm second.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me help you. Let me help you. Hold on.
Oh, thank you very much. I come second. I'll watch it on the rerun tomorrow when I'm
watch it on the rerun tomorrow. Yeah. It's on about 3 times, I think.
Yeah, marvellous. Okay, let's do some more emails, I think. Let's have a look.
I think we've got an email from Richard.
Yeah, we have indeed. Email from Richard. Hi, Richard. Great show. Thank you very much, Richard. Been watching the last 5 nights after my poker session. You must have been seeing a lot of Mr. Banin, I suppose, over the last 5 nights you've been watching. He's been doing a marathon session.
I have, yeah.
I've only recently started out playing fixed limit 15, 30-cent games. And I must say that fancy poker or generally mildly tricky play, most notably bluffs and isolation plays, will almost inevitably fail because most people will call you down with bottom pair and call pre-flop literally with anything like 7 deuce off suit. I'm beating the limit quite comfortably and building up my bankroll for 25, 50 cent, but I'm frustrated. Oh dear. With having little or no options in my play. I don't know if you've any experience with fixed limit games, but I wonder if or when a little trickiness will start to pay off as far as limit games are concerned. Should I stick to limit games or use the profit to buy into multi-table tournaments to satisfy my desire to play a little bit more sophisticated? Or should I look for no limit money games with small blinds? Thanks again for providing a great show. You've definitely got me hooked. Well, that's good. Thank you very much for a very full and colourful email, Richard. Now, 15 cent, 30 cent cash games. Now, me personally, I don't think you're going to get too many people folding at them limits. Now, if you expect, you know, like you said, the tricky plays to work, they're not going to. And if you're looking to play, you know, something a little bit more tricky with a few more moves in it and stuff, you are going to have to move up the limits. And I don't think moving to 25 cent, 50 cent limits is going to do it for you. I really don't. Maybe, I don't know how big your bankroll is there, Richard, but I would say that definitely small multi-table tournaments, maybe $1 or $2 buy-in, something like that's going to maybe fulfill you a little more. Maybe a 25, 50 cent no limit game. Now, if you're used to playing fixed limit, playing no limit's a completely different kettle of fish, and I would say that be very, very careful. Play to your bankroll, don't, you know, overextend yourself. Now, something I would say as well is, you know, like I said, big difference between no limit and fixed limit. Maybe play some fun money. You know, the play money sites be a good way to play. Now, I know the situation with play money is people are lumping it all in, but it gives you an idea of betting patterns and stuff like this. So that would be my take on the thing. Mark?
Yeah, a couple of other options I've got for you. I think everything that Barry has said, plus a couple of other options. Pot limit, perhaps. There are pot limit games that you can play in, so that gives you sort of a mix. If you're worried about going in too deep, of course, pot limit gives you that extra dimension of playing post-flop and adding 1 or 2 moves into your game as well. The other thing you can try and do is perhaps sit and goes. You might want to try a small sit and goes. You know, they go as low as $2 now, so you know, you can try a $2 one, a $5 one, and of course, because you are getting 1,000 chips or thereabouts, it means that you have got some action moves that you can make, and you're forced to make at some point anyway. So you might fancy trying those, as they create a lot more action and a lot more variety in your game. So a couple of other options.
Yeah, it's a good idea, Mark. Now, I would say on the pot limit side, you really are going to struggle to find pot limit games on the internet. There are a few out there, but you'll find that pretty much it is limit and no limit across the board now.
Yeah, they don't. They are on there. I think there's just there's no players in them.
No, exactly. There's no liquidity actually in the particular sites, and the games of choice are no limit in cash now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you know, there's a lot of choice out there for you, Richard. And thanks very much for the email. Now, as we said, we've had some great emails this evening. We want to see more of your emails in the last 50 minutes of the show. A number of ways you can actually get in contact with the studio. One of them's the text number, as you can see on your screen there, 62211. That's 62211. You can always email us at the studio here, poker@pokernightlive.co.uk. Send your questions in and we'll see if myself and Mark can answer them. And also you can have your say, leave your rant, your message, your question, whatever you want to do on the Poker Night Live voicemail, which is 0906 200 70 80. That's 0906 270 80 for you. Now, I believe the multi-table tournament's getting pretty deep now.
Is it?
Last couple of tables and last half an hour of the show. So we're going to catch the final table now before we go off air. So
excellent.
Let's go into the matrix and let's whiz across to our lime green multi-table tournament. Wow, I hear it's going like wildfire here, Mark. 7 runners left.
Wow, that's
really come down very quickly.
That has come down very quick. So let's give people a little bit of a run through.
Yeah, what's the update, Mark, on the payouts and stuff?
Okay, well, the 8th player finished was Jack Alley, who finished in 8th. He came out with $65.75. Just to give you some other players that you might have caught along the way. Buxton, if you remember Buxton, he had
Yep.
quite a few chips, didn't he?
Yep.
He had quite a few chips. He went out in 10th and got himself $32.87. A couple of regular players and a couple of others as well. Balrog UK came in 16th for $23. Del Boy came in 17th with $23. And Kingpin Matt, who we saw a little glimpse of earlier, came in 15th for $23 too. Next prize is going to be $92 for 7th, and it goes all the way up to, let's have a look, first place with $723. So first place, $723, and that's looking pretty good.
Yes, final 7. Now, let's let me have a look. Who's that? Is it Kooky? Just under 100,000 our chip leader, isn't it? Yeah, Kooky.
Oh, look, he's in trouble here. Is Ollie Polly.
Nasty
Top pair
shape.
against aces.
Always played it. Old Shaky Shark has played it extremely slowly, and he's got him to stick all of his chips in. Thank you very much. New chip leader. Aces paid off beautifully there.
Yeah.
Not much Ollie Polly could do there, was it? Top pair.
No, he tried to protect it as well. He thought he might need to protect his hand, and he was...
Run into the bullets, unfortunately.
So, a good bit of play there by Shaky. King Queen for Kooky.
Dear.
Run up against King 10 and Ace 10. Wow.
That was a very quick call by both of them, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Shaky Shark,
I'm surprised
does
he's
he
not...
think, I would be betting this with 2 hearts on board, Mark?
Yeah, so would I.
And the second
thinks-
spade as well.
Yeah, he thinks there's perhaps equity in calling, I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe there's
hands.
equity in sort of just taking the one player out. I don't think there is much equity in that, not at this stage of the tournament.
Well, maybe he was doing the tomato sauce play.
Possibly.
You're saying it like you know what it is.
Well, I presume it's shaking the bottle, is it? Trying to shake
No, it's the ketchup play. Trying to get people to catch up. Okay, no, don't know.
Oh, ketchup. Oh.
Yeah, no.
Way over my head.
Mr. Browning, I know it's that one. It's something I've adopted. The ketchup play.
The ketchup play?
Yeah.
Trying to let him catch
No
up.
tomatoes. Yeah, well...
it wasn't that far ahead.
No, he wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Maybe he thought he was like miles in front,
Yeah.
but Ace 10 is not a hand I'd be slow playing, I must say. But look, 170,000 chips. Blind's at 15-3.
Yeah, that's in a good position to be in, isn't it?
Wowee.
Very good, nice position indeed.
What's that,
Got,
60?
about just under 60 times a big blind, about 53 times a big blind.
60. Yep, you're right. 50 odd times a big blind. Lovely position to be in. And no one, well, except Fab 0057's the only one that really can do some damage.
Yeah. So he's in pretty good stead.
Let's see if he can take home the bacon here, Shaky Shark.
So Ollie Polly was our 7th place finisher. He's walked out with $92. There was this particular game was a $10 multi-table tournament. Started off with $263. We're down to our final 6 now, and $118 for our 6th place finisher, whoever that might be. In fact, what am I talking about? We're down to 5 now. In fact, we've had our 6th place finisher, who was Lochian. Yeah, so Lochian is our 6th place finisher. So we're down to 5, in fact.
He disappeared very quickly, didn't he?
He did, yeah. What happened to him?
Don't know, just kind of
disappeared
away, passing his chips around the table and decided to...
Gone. So Lochian's our 6th place finisher. He's on $118, and we're down to 5. So next player out gets $157. Could be any one of these, actually, apart from, well, Shake is least likely. Could be Zebrion, could be Benson, and of course, could be Cookie. Least likely is Shaky Shark and Fab, but you never know. If one of those gets involved with each other, could leave them not short stacked.
You're really looking to keep out of the way of the bigs. If you're Fab, you don't really want to be getting involved with Shaky Shark, really, which looks like could happen here.
Oh dear, this is going to be it.
This could really determine who wins this tournament. Can you see him laying down? No, he's
just flat calls. Yeah.
Very tricky.
Do you think he raises?
It's not a bad flop, is it, with that kind of hand? 9,000. Wow.
Yeah, he should have gone all in.
Ooh.
He should have gone all in.
Oh, it's nasty.
The problem is, I was talking about this with my brother earlier, and we were talking about how his mistake here in this situation was the fact that he gave him opportunity to go over the top.
Yeah.
Had he not
If
given
he
him
pushes in,
he can't call.
it's over.
Yeah,
it's
he can't
all
call.
over.
Exactly, and he wins a nice pot.
Yeah, but now being from second chip leader, he's out in fifth position.
And the thing that got me there, Barry, is that he's called very quickly there. You know, even though there's
For
a jack.
1 minute he thought that he had the guy to jack or an overpair to his
Yeah.
tens.
And also the fact that if he's going to push his chips in, why do it on a call rather than a raise?
Yeah.
If he's decided that the jack's not going to scare him, be the one to do it.
Well, you're not giving the other player option to fold. You've taken one of your weapons out of the equation.
Yeah, and his tens are still vulnerable. That's the problem.
Very much so.
You know, sure, he's favourite, but you know, this is not a cash game we're talking about.
The nice thing about it is, even if Shaky Shark has got something like Ace Jack, a big push like that may even lay down. You know, it didn't. But you're right. He gave him the opportunity to come over the top, and you know.
And he did it. Yeah, he did it, and he worked out okay. Well, Shaky's looking very, and Fab is a shame because he really shouldn't have been out in fifth place.
No.
With the second chip leader, there's only one person on there he wanted to avoid.
Well, we said
And that was it.
about 15 seconds before it. Fab wants to keep out the way of Shaky Shark and, you know, try and get it heads up and knock out the short stacks along the way.
Yeah.
Well,
I just don't think he gave himself time to think at that moment. That's all.
No.
He seemed to act very quickly, and had he just given it a moment's thought.
that's a very good point, Mark. You know, there's no, even though there's the time bar on this particular site, there is no need. You've got 15 seconds to act. Take a breath, take a moment. You know, assess the situation, and you know, try and add up everything that's going on the table. You see far too many quick decisions go on online.
Yeah.
In fact,
it's all too easy, isn't it, to push those buttons?
it is. I know some players that will play with a pile of chips in front of them while they play, to play and cart and muck around with their chips, to give them something to, you know, contemplate doing, to riffle a chip and try and work out what's going on.
Well, he's getting a few hands, is Shaky. He's got a pair of fives now. What's he going to do with these?
I think he has to raise, yeah.
He's decided to raise it up.
4 times the big blind.
And Zebrian is probably going to push all in here, and obviously he's going to call.
And
No, he doesn't.
passes in a flash.
I don't think he can fold ace-10 when you got so short stack here. What's he hoping for?
Well, let's look. Well, actually, look at the situation with the blinds. He's not that right. He's short in as much as the 4 players left, but he's got a lot of time to make the moves when he needs to. He's got just under 20,000 chips. The blinds at 15-3. He's not that bad a shape.
Yeah, well, it's worked out okay for him by the looks of it, because
Yep.
Yep, yeah, another player's gone out,
Slipped
so-
in the 4th.
he slipped into 4th. And 5th place, just so you know, got 157. That was Fab. And 4th place went to Benson Bird, who got $210. So he slipped into 3rd, rather. So that means that that's a big jump, isn't it? From 210, 3rd now gets 302.
Yeah, very top heavy.
So there's obviously no guarantees that he's going to go out in 3rd. Well, although it's going to be a chase, but a race by the looks of it. No, he's decided to fold that too. He's not taking any chances.
He's playing very solidly, Zebra. Well,
yeah,
solid,
I think.
maybe?
Look, the problem is here, Barry. I think he's got to take a chance there. Both guys have got 100,000 or more.
At least
and he's got
one
15.
double up. You need two double ups.
He needs a couple of double ups, and that was as good a chance as any, wasn't it? Queen Jack suited. You can't keep folding that. You need a double up. You can't wait. You can't hope that the other two knock each other out, or one of them knocks each other out. Because let's face it, it's less likely to happen, and you're going to get blinded out before you get a chance to see it. More than likely. So I think he could have taken a chance and, gone for some chip amassing.
Now let's see how he plays this in the big. Wow.
No brainer, isn't it?
You got to.
At last. And he's hit his 8, so he should get a double up here.
Only a 10 will split. No. And he finally sums up the courage to stick it all in.
Yeah, so he's got his first double up. Needs a couple more.
Because they're just running over him at the moment, aren't they? And he's got the weapon he has in his chips. It's just not big enough to scare these boys off.
No. It's probably enough to scare off Kuki.
Yeah, but
I don't think it would be an easy call with
no.
With this kind
Absolutely
of hand.
not.
Queen 5 or King 3 or something.
But and he probably does need to do that every now and again just to maintain his stack so that he can apply some pressure rather than waiting until he gets ante down to 15,000 again. He's back to square one. He has to do the same thing all over again.
The blinds are now 15-3, and they will be going up very shortly.
Yeah, he's got.
So, was it 2-4 the next blind level? 2.5, 5, something like that?
Yeah, he's going to push in here, isn't he? He's just called. Oh, it's worked out okay for him. And he's going to call now, obviously. And he's done it again.
Nice. 55 now. He's got his weapons just grown in size. He's now in getting back to close to challenging here for second position.
It's limped, shaky. He's not going to have any of it, I don't think. No, he's not. He's made it cheap enough for him to call, though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at Shaky. I would have thought he would have put a bit more pressure behind him.
Card.
And he's hit it. But we know that Shaky doesn't lay down, so he needs to go over the top. Oh, he's folded. He thinks he's got an ace. Well, I don't blame him, I suppose. Had it been any other card, like a Jack 8 something or other, then he probably would have called with his
Considering
8.
how he's been playing, it wasn't really any surprise he laid down second pair there, was it? He's played very conservatively up to now.
Yeah.
It's done him good. He's in the money. He's made the top 3, which is a good effort.
Yeah, minimum of $302. Second gets $460 and first gets $723.
I must say, from about 10 minutes ago, it's looked odds-on at Shaky. Not only because he's been getting big hands like his queens, but he's been getting pretty much all of the luck and the cards, hasn't he, in the last 10, 15 minutes.
Do you, in this situation, just flat call with the queens, being in a Shaky situation? The fact that he's got so many chips?
I would have flat called, hoping for some kind of action behind me.
Yeah.
I'd take a chance. If Zebra wants, got lucky and I'd double him up, then I'd double him up.
Yeah. And of course, even if Cookie takes all your chips, he's still got 156,000.
Exactly.
Which is pretty good. 50 times a big blind, which is still very, very healthy.
Wow. Ace on the button and he passes without even thinking.
Yeah, he's playing a bit too tight, I think, isn't he? But it's worked for him so far. The only problem is you get anted away, and then he gets back down to 25,000. He has to double up just to get to where he was. Which I suppose, as long as you keep doing that, will be okay. The only problem is that in the meantime you're having to wait for one of these two guys to try and come head to head.
Nice little play there from Kooky. On the turn there, Kooky bet out, Shaky put 3 times a raise in, and played it well with the 4s. And back into the 100,000s again.
Yeah, blinds have just gone up. They're now 2,000, 4,000.
Yep.
So a bit more meat in the pot. And a strange flat call here from Kooky. Ace 3, he's only got really one card to aim for, and that's the ace. So you would have thought that he'd want...
Still in front, though?
Yeah.
He's still in front.
But he's making it hard for himself, isn't he?
That was a strange play. But anyway, worked out all right. He had the button, come around to him on the turn.
Yeah, if he doesn't like the ace 3 so much, then just put a small raise in. You don't have to put 3 or 4 times. Make it double at least, or 2.5 times. Oh, this could be dangerous.
Got shot straight draw for Shaky, a top pair for Kooky.
Will Shaky call this for 4,000? He probably will. It's probably worth him calling.
Always hit the flush draw as well now. I don't think you're going to get rid of him for 4,000.
No.
Yeah, he may get paid off. Yep. He's hit the jack on the river.
Yeah, he got a little bit out of that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He done well, Kooky, and slowly grabbing the chips back. Now up to 150, only 60,000 behind Shaky. He could be in trouble here, though. No, he didn't raise with the ace-king. Played it very sneakily.
Well, he's going to give him some more unless...
oh, dear. He could lose quite a few chips here if Kooky puts a big enough bet in.
Don't tell me he's just going to flat call, surely.
Wow.
No, he doesn't.
Kooky very tricky play here from Kooky. Got paid off very quickly from Shaky.
Yeah.
Could have lost a lot more, but nice play. And shows you why he really shouldn't have re-raised. We should have re-raised there with the ace-king, don't you think, Mark?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. You don't want... you want to try and win these pre-flop. Bit unfortunate the way it worked out, though. But I bet Zebrian likes this, doesn't he? Trying to. So you better hope that a club doesn't appear.
Look, what is he flat called for? Dear,
He's overdone it, hasn't he? Overdone it. He's got a club in his hand. He's got to make the move. It's too late now. Did he fold? He did. He folded.
Folding the heartbeat.
Yeah. Trip ace.
Wow, you've got to fold, haven't you, with the chips he's got?
Yeah. But boy, he could have won that pot, didn't he? Yeah.
Could have won it on the turn. The turn was
he's been playing
pushed him on turn.
He's been playing too soft, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got him to that position, but there's a time where he does not need to change gear, and he just hasn't done it.
No. He's got one gear, I'm afraid, poor old Zebron, where Shaky has been very much in top gear pretty much the whole way through. And Kookie's played a very good game as well.
He has, yeah.
Nice flop for the nines. And Kookie really, really started to take control of this one now, Mark.
He is, yeah. He's looking good. Zebrion hoping that something happens. This could be an action flop.
Wow, look at
2,
this
3,
up
4,
and down
5.
trips.
And
makes it straight.
yeah, and Kookie isn't falling for it, is he? He's, I think he's got top pair, and he's just been calling all the time, which is he's done the least really there, hasn't he?
He has.
Top pair, decent kicker. Yeah, it's a good play there by Kookie. Actually, good play by not losing any more.
Yep. Could have done a lot more chips in this
Absolutely, yeah. I think I would have been inclined to re-raise. But having said that, probably come over the top of me, and then. But having said that, he probably wouldn't have come over the top. We've seen him slow play aces earlier.
Yep.
So he tried to slow play ace king, it didn't work out. So he does like to slow play. Zebrion looking for a hand that he can push with.
Well, it's an automatic call now for anybody, really, isn't it? Pushing in for it with 11,000.
Yeah.
It's he's going to get action, so he needs to find a hand.
He might decide that this is it. Oh,
Yeah.
It's a walk.
Very nice.
Now I assume he's going to raise. He does, and
Ridiculous. It's got to be It's got to be pass all in there, really, isn't it? The calling's not.
The calling's not an option.
No,
Not with his chips.
not with them chips. No, exactly.
Oh, he threw away the queen, didn't he? There's Zebrion.
Yep.
So this could mean tilt. It could mean it'll push in with the next hand, whatever it is, because of the fact that he's just seen that he threw away the winning hand. Yeah, it's a good hand to do it with, I suppose. He won't be throwing this away, that's for sure.
And he's got him dominated as well. Oh,
Well, flush draw. And
takes it down.
seven to the
Jack
yeah.
flop. Jack kicker wins it.
Yeah, he keeps coming back. He's like
It's just not good enough, Mark, is it? You know,
Can't get rid of him.
You can't just keep survival when you've got two massive stacks either side of you. You need.
no. He's not giving himself the opportunity, is he?
No.
The only opportunity he's given him by default, I suppose, is the fact that he's buying time and hoping that one of these two catch hands against each
Well,
other.
exactly. He's hoping these two go to war, and he kind of, you know,
Which is a strategy.
jam. It's not a winning strategy, though, Mark.
Yeah. I mean, they've had a lot of opportunities to go to war to each other, and they
Yeah, no,
just
absolutely.
haven't hit anything.
Nope.
I suppose it would, you know, if we saw them have aces against queens or something, or kings against queens, then we'd say it was a great, it was a great strategy. It worked great. But
Well, it's going to have to be a very long wait.
problem is even if they do go to war with each other, they'll probably one of them will still end up with more than him anyway.
Yeah. Well, they're both pretty close now, though, Kookie and Shaky Shark. And you would be either of them. You're looking to knock out Zebrion and get it heads up, really, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Shaky's trying to do it. And Zebrion just won't go away. He's picked up another hand.
No, he's going to fuck.
The problem is he's only going to, even if he doubles up, he's only going to double up to...
44 he's got. No, put it at 14, so 28 he'll have. Easy work. And he's found himself against the luck.
7 will get...
No. 33, there you go. Plus the blinds, yeah, it was 28 plus the blinds, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where he needs to double up when you're on 33.
Yeah.
You know, get to 60, you're now a bit more of a force in this one.
Yeah, he needs to try. He can't keep waiting until he gets down to 15 again and then double up again to 33. You know, well, he's walked into a monster here.
Yeah. This could be good night Vienna for Zebrion. Automatic play, and it is
now it
good
is.
night.
Yeah. Yeah, no outs anymore. And he still hits his ace. Lucky that king came along.
Yep.
Well, played a good game, Zebrion overall. Very patient. Very, very patient. And,
I'll use another P word. I'd say very passive as well.
Yeah, I think there were opportunities that he missed out on.
Yep.
But he's unfortunate there to walk into kings.
Yep.
And he was unfortunate enough that the king came as well. And if that king not dropped, he would have doubled up again.
Yes, he would.
So played a good game. Well
You're
done.
never going to lay down ace queen three-handed, are you?
No.
Flop. It's always going to go all in. So
Yeah, he's done very well to come through 263 players. No mean feat. So well done, Zebrion, on your third place finish. Especially as he was looking pretty low at on that final table at certain points. So between Shaky Shark and Cookie now, which one of these is going to take it down? First is 723, and second is 460.
oh, hello.
Well,
Is he going to let go of the king queen? Oh, quads. I thank you.
well, look at that quads.
He wants. Wait, look, he's betting it.
He's betting. Is he mad?
What's he doing? Has he misread the board?
That is incredible.
What?
Why would you possibly do that?
He
That
can't-
was.
He couldn't put them on an ace for one.
No, I think that's.
The only hand you're going to get paid there is pocket nines.
I think he's missed out on opportunity there, hasn't he?
Yep.
I just don't understand why you'd bet out quads like that. You want the guy to catch up at least. Give him a chance to catch up. Catch his flush, catch a house, catch something. Two pair even. He might think that his king is good, but to just bet out like that. Obviously he's not got an ace in his hand, that's for sure. So he can't...
See, the old tomato sauce play would have worked very nicely there, Mark, with the quads.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That was a strange one. I must say I've been impressed with Cookie's play, but that was a strange bet.
Yeah, so if you're listening, Cookie, email us in and let us know why you made that bet.
Was it a mistake? Did you press the all-in button by mistake? Or the bet button?
No, because it was a specific amount, wasn't it?
It was 44,000, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bet that would be automatically in the...
Oh, here's a big coup. Look at this. Ace-king against the eights. He's hit the ace and...
Well, he's going to... that was a missed opportunity, wasn't it, those quads? Big missed opportunity, I think.
It's pretty long, though. That well, we don't know what's going to come on the turn and river, but if a king or queen comes, he may have extracted a little bit more money out of,
He might
out
have
of Shaky.
He did have a backdoor flush draw as well. He might
Indeed,
have,
if comes club, you might get paid. You might even win it there and then.
yeah, he gets all his chips, I think.
Yeah.
If it comes flush, I don't think the guy's
But
laying it down.
we'll never know. The only way I could think him thinking when he bet out with the quads was that if the guy's got an overpair to my nines.
To the nine
To
on
the
the board.
nine on the board, yeah.
That's wishful thinking, isn't it?
It is. I'm trying to add some logic to it, but it's very difficult to do.
Yeah. No, I don't think. I think you can't narrow a thing down to the fact that he's got a pair between tens and kings.
No.
And it's very
I think,
unlikely as well.
Well, you got to think that you might have got a lot bit more action pre-flop with that kind of hand, and you can get the guy all in. But a strange one.
Yeah. So, Cookie, I'd love to know what your thinking was on that hand.
Yep.
What
Absolutely.
What makes you think you could have... I suppose you can only think that that's the case, Barry. I don't think the fact that he must have been convinced that the guy had a pocket pair.
Yep.
And that was a steal attempt. Is there any reason you'd make that kind of play?
Yep. Maybe he calls with pocket fives or something shaky in that spot. I don't know. It's very unlikely that that Kookie had an ace when two aces on the board. It was very unlikely he had two aces for sure, but he did. So
Yeah. So I think if a king comes, he's probably going to get paid.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Mark. I think that's a very big possibility.
He certainly gets paid something anyway.
Yeah, whether he goes broke or not is another day's work.
Certainly puts him in good stead. Well, now,
Gets to walk with the kings.
well, king queen this time. This time he gets a walk.
It's a shame that that situation with the 8s turned up, because Kuki had, I think, very much taken the take the driving seat of this heads-up battle, don't you think? He was playing probably the better poker as well, and
he certainly was in the driving seat, wasn't he? Yeah, and he decided to
take
put it all in
a fly
pre-flop.
with the 8s.
Yeah, wasn't it all in pre-flop?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it was.
So he took the skill element out of it, didn't he? Really?
He did, which was a bit of a shame, because you know, if he'd have raised 3 times the big blind, got put over the top, called, you could have seen an ace and let it go, you know, and not doubled up Shaky.
Yeah.
Because Shaky's played a little bit more gung-ho than Kuki. Kuki's been, I'd say, had a little bit more finesse to his game.
Well, definitely. I mean, we saw Shaky just a moment ago put in the bet pre-flop of 160,000 with ace deuce.
Yeah.
You know, so
only about 100 times the big blind at the time.
Yeah.
So whatever, it was ridiculous.
So that was just, you know, that was a very wild sort of play.
It's always interesting in these multi-table tournaments. You've got a lot of chips with what, 300 and what's that? No, 400 and well, just under 400,000 chips in play.
Yeah.
There's you know, what's that? 100 big blinds on the table. It gives you a lot of play. Heads up.
Yeah, this is a good tournament for that.
Yeah.
Certainly when you get down to 2, 3, 4-handed, the final table always seems to have a lot of play. So
that's the problem with the sit and goes, is that when it does get to you know, 640, 1280, there is no play, is there?
No, there's no play at all.
It's just, you know, all in or pass basically.
Yeah, there's hardly any skill at all. Just luck of the cards. Well, they're battling out, and Kuki's been severely damaged, but he's not giving up.
No, he's only one double up away from being the chip leader again.
Yeah.
He does like that minimum bet, doesn't he?
Yeah.
When he's first to speak on a flop after a raise, which, you know, firing out like that, not a bad play. But it usually denotes weakness, wouldn't you say, Mark? Betting out that small amount into the pot of that size.
Sometimes I think that's usually the case, isn't it? That is usually the case.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people, I suppose, they read that for strength, and if they haven't got anything, they don't really want to go over the top to find out that maybe he has really got the ace. Depends, you know. When you're commentating, you can look at it two ways, can you say? You can look at it and say that looks like he wants a call.
Yeah.
Or you can say it looks like a weak bet. You
Yeah,
know,
it's easy when you're looking at the hands. That's for sure.
So you've got to decide, you know, which of the two it is. In some cases, it will look like a weak bet. In most cases, it probably is a weak bet. In some cases, it looks like he wants a call. So which one is it? That's a great thing about poker. You could always decide.
Oh dear. Just let him catch up here, isn't he, with the
Yeah.
check with the queen. And I'm sure Shaky may get something out of Kuki.
No.
He did, yeah. No,
Did he
it.
call?
Yeah, he
Oh,
called
did
it.
call.
Yeah, I was just looking at his chips to see if he did call, and he did call very
Yeah.
quickly. Now, he played it pretty slowly when the ace come on the turn. He's checked it as well, so it could have easily been taking a pop at it on the river. So the blinds go up once again here. 3,000, 6,000. I think it's every 12 minutes, Mark, isn't it, in these
I think it is,
tables?
yeah.
So for an online game, they're pretty long blind levels, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 15 times the big blind is what Kuki has at the moment, so he's not desperate stakes yet, but he wants to try and maintain where he is. Don't think that's 7, 8, Queen at 4 is the one to do it with.
Bit of a loose call there from Kuki.
Yeah. I think it might be ruining the time that he called with Queen 4. I don't think that was a good call. I mean, especially out.
Shaky sets them all in. Easy decision for Kuki.
So is Shaky going to be applying the pressure? Nope. Well,
A little bit again. Wins it for Kuki. Likes to do that quite a lot.
he does, yeah. He's been getting away with
Minimum
it quite a
bet.
bit.
He has, yeah. I thought Shaky may have picked up on it by now. I know I would have probably done, but easy when we can see the cards. What's the count on the players again, Mark? What did we start with tonight? How many?
263.
Okay, so these boys have beat 261 other players to get to this point this evening. As we said, the top prize is tad over $700, isn't it?
Yeah, $700 it was.
So, Shaky raises with the ace in the small, takes it down. So Kooky slowly chipping away. His chips are going down. Shaky's really applying the pressure. And he's at that stage where even a double up's not going to help Kooky now to regain the chip lead. So Shaky's in a really good shape.
He is, yeah. He's in a very strong place here. Still, he's not dropping down below that 80,000 mark,
no.
So he's managing to maintain that sort of area.
He was at 100. Oh, I think we could have a.
This could be it,
big coup here.
Yeah, I think this is probably where we do. He's not going to take any chances, and he's probably going to call.
There we go. Good shape.
So far, he's in
good
shape.
It looks like. Oh, wow.
It's at the end. Wow, last card.
River card, the killer.
Killer River.
Yes, indeed. Well done to Shaky Shark. Excellent. Heads up play there for a good while, wasn't it? 10 minutes or so we saw.
Yeah.
Well done, $700 odd after a very long but enjoyable multi-table tournament this evening. Now, we're going to show, I think we're going to have a bit of what's in the hole time.
What's in the hole again?
What's in the hole once again.
Okay, and this will be a master class if anyone can guess what this one is.
Yeah, if you got this one, then, you know, you should be sitting here where we are, not. Anyway, look, there's Man City Kid. Can't see his cards. Under the gun, 425. Here we go, all in. Thank you very much. What has he got? What could he be making this move with? Blinds are 50, 100. It's a multi-table tournament. As you can see, what's in the hole?
Now, what's your guess, Barry?
I don't know. I'll take a random guess. Ace 7. We're going to see? No, not tonight. Tomorrow we're going to find out what's in the hole.
After midnight, yeah.
Wow.
I
don't think I can stand it, Mark. Actually,
no, you'd have to record it.
You think so?
If you're not at home, find out what it is.
Look, if you want to take part in what's in the hole, or contact the show, send us an email, a text, etc. A number of ways you can do it here on Poker Night Live. Get your mobile phone out. 62211's one of the ways you can do it. That's 62211 on your SMS text. Oh, get on your PC. poker@pokernightlive.co.uk, and you can phone up 0906 200 70 80. It's your Poker Night Live rant line. Questions, messages, whatever you want, get onto us. Even if you've got some problems with the missus, give us a shout. We're trying to help out. Auntie Mark and Uncle Barry, we'll try and help out. Sorry, Auntie Barry, Uncle Mark, whatever way you want to do it.
That's better.
Okay, we've got a couple of emails here. We're going to do one before we go back to the tables. This email from Me Zimim from Germany. Thanks for that, Me Zimim. Excellent, excellent name. Hi guys, I'm looking the show. Excellent. I'm glad you're looking the show there, Me Zimim. And it's very fine. Not only pros are on TV. Are you trying to say that me and Mark are not pros? What's going on? We're top-level pro. No, we're not actually. You're right. It's good not to see pros. I'm sure you mean the tables, and it's good to see everyday online players playing on Poker Night Live. That's what we, keeping it real here on Poker Night Live. So a big respect, and I will see you at the tables. Not if I see you first, my friend. I play $2, $4, and there is only one card that makes me confused. One card, and you said that pocket eights. That's actually two cards. Okay. See, one card would be just a single 8. But with two cards, that's two eights. And it would be nice if the boys in the studio actually edited these emails to make it easy. But hey, look, the comic value of this is great. Okay, so the pocket eights. Whenever I get them, I never win with pocket eights. Don't play them. If you don't win with pocket eights, don't play them. Fold them. There is a fold button there on online poker. This is not difficult to do. Anyway, one thing is about right. Ace King looks nice. Like Anna Kournikova, but it loses too often, just like Anna Kournikova. And your point being, Mizimim, from Germany? I don't know. Okay. AK, Anna Kournikova, yes, I see it. Big slick. Anna Kournikova's not that big.
So what we've established is that me Zimmerman doesn't want to play pocket eights and doesn't want to play ace king. Sounds like Dr. Tom, maybe. Aces and kings, and James Brown. They like
Couple
playing
of rocks.
Yeah.
Marvellous. It's always good to see the more interesting emails coming in. And why not? Poker at Poker Night Live, 622 on the text. There's the number, there's the text, SMS. Get cracking. We like to see your emails, especially from Germany. Our Deutsche friends. Thank you very much, Ms. Zimmerman, this evening. Anyway, let's, the last 20 minutes, last 10 minutes of the show, let's zoom across for a cash game, Mark, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that.
Why not?
And good enough to me Zimmerman.
Jawohl. So there's a 50-cent $1 one we've been looking at all night, and who's still left here? Samurai's still about, still playing. Charwell's still there. Tragic Trev was chipped up. Johan Haren's gone. Who else? Yeah, Tragic Trev still got...
Snap It still there?
Yep, still got most of the chips there. Tragic Trev, $256.
Yeah, he's increased a little bit. He had about 230, I think.
That's right, yeah. It's a steady increase over the last little while.
What's a little bit concerning is that Frufo has 180, and I wonder where he got those from, because Snap It hasn't given them away, Charwell hasn't given away, Tragic Trev hasn't given away.
You don't know.
Maybe
you don't know.
Smooth Cut, maybe Smooth Cut, I can't remember what he had, but maybe it was Johan.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Who knows?
It wouldn't have been Smooth Cut because he's taken over Johan's place, hasn't he?
Yes.
So it wouldn't have been Smooth Cut. So I wonder who it was.
So look at this. Flush draw against the trips. Yeah.
Just to
He
make
might
sure
get
that
paid there with the 10. Did
I
he
was gonna
check it? Did he check that? I think. No, he's last to
he's
speak.
got a house. He hasn't got trips. He's got a house.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't see the
Yeah,
pair
no,
nine.
nor did I. No,
Top house there for Smooth Cut.
it was a bit of an over.
And he got paid as
Did he-
well
did he
because of
pay
the 10. Yeah. Marvellous, look at that. Oh, he bet $1 into the pot.
Yeah, he tried to.
Try to steal it for $1.
Yeah, well, I think he
And a
tried to
six-
use it as a stop play, didn't he? And it
A
didn't quite work.
16th of the pot. I thought, right, it looked like a bet that needs to be called. So Smooth Cut thought, nah, I've got the top house here. I'm going to raise you just to have a bit of fun.
Yeah. Second nut hand. Of course, quad nines would have been the best hand out there.
Yeah, well, if they've got quad nines, good luck to them. That's what I say when I've got a top house.
Well, look at this. Look at this, Barry. We've got ace queen, ace king, ace jack.
Give me the 6-8 suited.
Yeah, I think so. And some big raising going on. And I like this play by Charwell. It's got ace king. And the great thing about the hand that he's got, he's on the button. So, dear, oh dear. Well, he's checked it, so that's good. That's good. And
Only a king, though. Smooth
Yeah,
Cut's
he
got
needs
to
to-
feel pretty confident now.
yeah, it doesn't look like it's hit that Smooth Cut's hit the board, does it? Queen 6, he's checked
No,
it.
but he could have had underpair to the queen.
Yeah.
Could have played it like that.
And I think I
whatever-
might have been more tempted to actually just flat call with the ace king there.
Wow. It's a big bet.
He can't fold this,
You
can he?
can't, can you? Not really.
No. Well, what's he possibly got there? Kings, aces?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Didn't play like that, did he?
No, he can't ever think he's got a 5 in his hand. Raising with a 5.
How much Smooth to cut?
Unless
You've
he
got to call
thinks
this.
he's got 6s or pair of 3s.
Wow.
Well, that was dangerous play there by Charwell. And
It's very. It was.
I'll tell you something, Charwell, you do that with me and I'm calling, mate.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, on
It
that
looked-
kind of board.
It looked like a bet that's saying, please don't call me. I'll put
Yeah.
a nice big bet in, near enough your whole stack.
It was his whole stack, I think.
Well, no, did Charwell move all in there, did he?
Charwell moved all in, yeah.
Oh, right. Well, for Smooth Cut to call, it would have been $15 left.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got top pair, and it doesn't look like the board's hit
No.
for Charwell.
The problem was, again, that Smooth Cut actually gave him the opportunity to come over the top because of the small bet on the turn and checking the flop.
Yeah.
He could have avoided that by betting the flop and the turn.
Well, I think he... yeah, I'm surprised that he didn't actually bet the flop, did he?
No,
He
didn't.
checked.
He checked it.
Yeah, I don't know why he would have done that. Oh, he checked it because he was hoping that Charwell, because he did raise,
Maybe.
had the betting lead. So he
Yeah.
was hoping that Charwell would have bet. He didn't. What did he bet on the turn? Do you remember? Did he
No,
bet
I
on
can't.
No,
I can't
but
remember.
It wasn't.
It was like, I think
he bet 10.
10, and then he made it like 30.
And then Charwell re-raised to 30.
30, yeah, and then he called, didn't he?
Yeah, I think probably a call or a re-raise there at that point. That was a thing.
Well, he did call, didn't he? He did call, and then he checked on the.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, then check call, but.
Well, and do the same on the river.
Yeah, but he decided not to.
Wow.
Surprise, surprise. Never mind. He's got put off the best hand, and I think Smoothcut just watching that won't be too pleased with himself. But
headbutting the closest, you know.
Yeah, there are certain times I think where you've got to analyse the play, and in that situation you've got to say, well, okay, well, what hand could he have? Okay, he could have aces or kings. That's a possibility. Yeah. He could have pocket queens, although the fact that I've got one of them is less likely.
Pocket 5 in his hand?
But he's not good at 5.
No.
So he could have pocket 6s or pocket 3s. Now, would he have re-raised with pocket 6s and pocket 3s? Very unlikely.
No.
He's going to flat call,
He's going to flat call and see a flop.
Yeah, so that's almost a definite no. So the 6s are ruled out, the 3s are ruled out, the 5 is ruled out.
There's the only hand you can put him on now after the re-raise pre-flop is aces or kings.
Aces or kings is the only thing.
Yeah.
Or pocket queens.
And if you put him on aces or kings, why call pre-flop with ace queen?
Yeah. So you've got to say to yourself, I've got aces or kings, good luck to you, really.
Yeah, exactly. I'll pay you off. There you go.
Yeah,
crack.
Exactly. So
I think overall it's going to be a winning play long term, Mark, with the ace queen there.
Of course it is, yeah.
I think so.
In that situation with that board, definitely. Yeah, that board was very non-threatening, wasn't it?
I would have been more scared of Charwell bet out like $30 or $25 or something, not all in.
Yeah, that would have been scarier. I agree. But yeah, I think the board just wasn't threatening. That's the thing. You know, you had a couple of 5s, a 6 and a 3. I mean, what is that? You know, that's nothing, is it?
No, not really.
There's no card on there that's really saying to you, don't call me. So, you know, under certain situations, I'll say, OK, I understand you folding that. You know, the board is straightened. Perhaps there's a 9-10 jack on there. You know, someone could have king, queen. Stuff like that. So, you know, well, there's three cards in the upper area of the group, the picture cards and stuff. I can understand you throwing that away, but oh well, not to be.
No.
We've seen some aggressive play there by Charwell.
Yeah, it's going to go pretty much unlooked up, I think. So what you got in the diary the rest of this week, Mark? Are you playing out live anywhere? Are you doing anything exciting in the poker world?
Anything exciting in the poker world? No, no plans. I might, on the spur of the moment, head down to a Sportsman or something. I don't know. We'll see. But no, there's no plans. I tend to do play mainly at the moment online.
So see more of your brother now than I'll see of you live.
Yeah, I don't play that many tournaments nowadays. And if I do play, I usually try and play them abroad. I was in LA for a couple of weeks, so I was playing there. And before that, I was in St Kitts, in sort of at the back end of last year. So,
do you like it, St Kitts?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah,
recommend it to other people to go?
Yeah, it was really good fun. Yeah, it was really good fun. It should be even bigger next year. Yeah. So, good location.
How many runners they get for the main event?
Oh, I can't remember. It was a couple of hundred, I think.
Right.
I think it was a couple of hundred, but it was way. You know, Thomas does a good job.
Yeah, I was at an IPF tournament. Was
yeah,
it? Yeah.
So it was in conjunction with another online site as well. So yeah, they did a good job. They did a good job. It was good atmosphere there, and you got the sun. You know, you got the sun. You're on the beach. You know, it's a nice beach, and yeah, so it was good fun. Very green, very hospitable. Yeah, definitely good time to have a holiday. And there's some side action as well. Not tons of it, but there's a little bit of side action in terms of sit and goes.
Enough to keep you away from the bar.
Enough to keep you a little bit away from the bar. Yeah, it wasn't. Sometimes it took a little bit of time to get going, but generally speaking, it was pretty good fun. So yeah, if you get a chance next year, I'd definitely recommend it.
Excellent. Right, we've got a couple of emails, Mark, before we go. Okay. So yeah, one from your namesake, Mark from Ireland. Hi, Mark. Thanks very much for the email. Hi, I was a live player for 4 years, but for family I've moved to internet poker, like a lot of us. I'm an Omaha player. My problem is I start off winning in the first 3 to 4 hours, but as time goes on I don't get bored and my play is still very tight. But I always seem to end up losing everything I worked hard to get. I get outdrawn a lot as well. Can you help, please? Well, hold on. A couple of things tell me straight away. One, you're an Omaha player and you get outdrawn a lot. That's Omaha. You know, the swings are enormous compared to Hold'em in Omaha. You're going to have to bear that in mind. Now, if you're winning a lot on the first 3 to 4 hours, well, in the first 3 to 4 hours, stop. Stop when you're winning. If you don't like losing, stop after 3 or 4 hours, quit up, go to bed, do something else, watch the telly, you know, kick the cat, whatever you want to do. But give up after 3 to 4 hours if that's when your winning situation is. You know, look at when you play your optimal level. I think that's about it, really, Mark, when you do the same.
It's funny, isn't it? So many times you get the answer in the email, and he's actually said it there. He's written his own answer, and he doesn't realise he's written it.
Yeah.
If you are winning after 3 or 4 hours, like Barry said, just stop. You know, there's nothing saying you've got to play on. Stop. I only play for an hour, hour and a half at a time, because I know that I generally win a few $100, and that's it. I don't want to win any more. You know, I'm glad to win more, but I know I won't be playing at my best. So I stop after that hour and a half or so. And you should do the same. Omaha is a big game of variance. There is big swings in it. It is a drawing game, so you are going to get outdrawn, and you just got to accept that it's a big redraw game as well, unlike Hold'em. Omaha is a redraw game as well. You do need to have, as well as having a good hand, you also got to have options for a redraw, and a lot of players think they just got a good hand and now stick with that.
Excellent. Well, give you a bit of insight there for you, Mark. Right, a quick one from Alison before we go this evening. Hi, gents. Where can I get a live game that we see in the intervals, and what sort of entry fee are they? Best thing I'd say is go on one of the search engines, type in somewhere that if you live in wherever, in the Midlands or somewhere, find out where your local casinos are or your local clubs or whatever, and then give them a call. I'm sure they'll tell you all the information you want to know about buy-ins, cash games, etc., etc. There's loads of live play in and around your area, I'm sure. Okay?
Yeah. Also, just go have a quick look at thehendonmob.com. They've got a poker database on there which shows you all the casinos throughout England. So.
Excellent. Well, that's about it for this evening, Mark. Thanks very much to all the viewers out there on Poker Night Live. Hopefully you've had a very enjoyable show. I come second, by the way.
Well done, Barry. Well done.
Good night, everyone. Take care.